boy Bama already got a Shedeur jersey?
Yeah, something like that.
Yo, that was
Yeah.
quick. That was quick.
Yes, sir.
That's
Yeah,
crazy. You got a backup QB's jersey? You reckon the backup
Yes,
QB jersey?
sir. We
backup,
hear this shit,
backup.
sir.
Hey,
You say backup?
hey, there might be the backup out there, man. He might be the backup out there.
This shit,
Hell no. All I'm gonna say is this, man. Bust down my new AP, perfect timing. Boy, hey, look, y'all can say what y'all want to. Shedeur overhyped, this and that. Yeah, he
We'll
failed.
get into that. We'll get it. We shall get into that, bro. I'll
Bust
say
down
that
my
for a
new
little
AP.
later. Got one more person that wanted to join. They talked about Dante Marsh, hey, who as well. That's the OG. Play for the Titans. Waiting on him to join too.
He
So,
finna have,
Hat on.
he finna have the whole state of Ohio going like this, boy. I'm trying to tell you, hey, look,
Hey, what?
the whole state finna
Let's
get bust down
no.
AP.
What I'm not gonna let Bama do is move the goalpost on this brother Anthony.
I told him bust down my AP. Perfect timing.
Come
I don't
on.
want to talk about that right now. I want to talk about that trench baby Anthony Edwards. He's the
I don't
last
care. I don't care. Y'all don't watch basketball. I ain't trying to hear it.
Edwards,
You don't
Edwards.
watch,
Look,
you don't watch
Edwards.
basketball. I'll talk basketball with Jay, but they don't
Hey,
watch
okay,
basketball.
they don't really watch ball like that.
They don't watch basketball.
I
I
got
tried to
love
talk
for
about
Anthony Edwards.
basketball 2 weeks in a
It's not
row.
about watching basketball,
Nobody
brother.
watch basketball.
I'm an Anthony Edwards fan,
No, you're
and
not.
there's nothing more than watching
No,
brother
you're not.
Ant just ball out.
He fun to play. He fun to watch. 100%. He plays with that
I love
edge. He
it.
plays with the swagger. He kind of like Shedeur. I'm not gonna lie. He got a little Shedeur in him.
No. Don't you ever do
Yeah,
that.
got a little
Anthony
Shedeur. Got a little
Edwards,
He got a little
Shedeur.
swagger to him.
Anthony Edwards is a real trench baby. Don't do that. He's the last of the trench babies. Basketball has transitioned to two-parent household superstars. Ant is the last. He's the last of the dynasty.
I think there's actually. There's still a lot of NBA players who do come from, you could say, backgrounds where they struggle to
I'm
make,
talking about the
to make what they came
superstars.
from.
Superstars.
Superstar wise, let me think. Yeah, I'm trying to think right now. Superstar wise.
And Ja, that's it.
Ja, no,
Yeah,
Ja, no. Really,
no.
Ja, nigga, no. Ant is the only one.
Ja's not an
You
answer.
tripping,
I'll give you
bro.
that.
That nigga
I
Ja
think.
from South Carolina. He's Southern. Nigga.
I'm trying to think of any of these.
He's not a trench baby.
Man, that nigga grew up black. They grew up the same amount of black. And
No.
you tripping. They the same amount of trench.
No,
That way, you can't be a
I'm
trench
waiting
baby if
for
you're European.
Anthony Edwards
Can you
one-
be a trench baby if you're European? They might have had to struggle up too. They could struggle on, you know what I mean?
I mean, yeah, if you want to like
Yeah.
Joker and them, you talking about from them type of countries.
Yeah, you might-
technically,
Yeah,
technically,
that's the
technically,
Got a point.
You got a point. Yeah. Because where Hezbollah and them from, people think like they just ultra rich, bro. Like, but they really like it's like real.
Didn't Larry Marketing have to after the NBA season go fight no war or something?
It was one of them. It was something like that.
I think that was Larry Marketing from Utah.
But yeah,
Hey,
Ja, and I guess we'll see. But I mean, that's essentially that. And still, though, that's what you want. Don't you want the evolution of the family? Like
100%. You want more and more people to come from privileged.
now,
Actually,
I will say this. I see what people saying when they say like the trench baby because they're talking about all these ex-NBA players and how their kids are going to the league now. So it's closing the window on the random kid, the random new sensation. You know what I mean? It's probably gonna be like more groomed. Like, oh, this is my dad, so this is why I'm here. You know what I mean? This is why I get this opportunity. I give you that, but I mean, for as the athlete though, that's what you want. I mean, a lot of kids that get trained by their dad end up being just as good athletes as trench babies. Like, yeah, they probably got like a little bit more grit or whatever the case may be, but shit, kids that's trained by their dads be just as well off than trench babies too.
The percentage of kids though who actually end up being superstars or stars when their parents are superstars or stars is very low. You don't see that too often. A lot of superstars kids who may end up playing the sport, they end up being a LeBron James type of son who's, not a superstar by any means, might make the league, you know what I mean? But it's very rare to have a superstar, father and have a superstar son in that same sport. We talking about Ken Griffey. Like Ken Griffey Jr.'s father wasn't even a superstar. Junior was better than him. He was elite. I can't really, other than like, Manning's, the Manning's got it, father, son, super elite both times. Other than that, you don't really see a lot of them.
Yeah.
No,
AB Daddy only played arena football.
there it is.
Yeah.
There it is.
OG, what's good, man? Welcome back, man. Welcome back. Appreciate you pulling up again, OG.
Hey,
What's up?
I have a bone to pick with you old ninjas, boy. Y'all need to relax. Y'all are way too freaky and y'all messing up the market right now. I'm just telling you that
Yeah.
right
Oh, you talking about us?
now.
So this is this is
Y'all messing up
so
the market.
that brings me to the first topic. We're gonna get into it, man.
Y'all
What?
way too freaky.
Shannon Sharp had to step back and miss he got some 19-year-old girl saying that played some video, I mean not video call, some voice call that saying he was finna choke her. They requesting $50 million, like some group. It's not even just her. They say it's like some group requesting $50 million, or they're gonna leak some more stuff that can pretty much put him in jail for his rape or something of that nature, or like sexual harassment. I don't know. I'm not fully sure at this of it, but anyway, it made him step back from ESPN after he had got like the $100 million deal or whatever the case
I mean,
may
he
be.
was going to. That's
We
what
are going to.
he was about to sign $100 million deal with Spotify for his podcast, and now that's on shaky. So that's what's good. He was literally about to sign that contract for $100 million. Let's not forget, Shannon Sharp played NFL in 90s, where the money isn't like what it was today. So he never made $100 million in life before. Let's be real. He's never made $100 million. He was about to sign the biggest contract of his life, which is why, and they probably got word of it, which is why that $50 million came in. And he was willing to pay. They said he was willing to pay $10 million to just keep this on the down low, because he knew that $100 million is coming in. That upfront money might have been 20, 30 million upfront, right? So he's like, all right, let me give it that 10, so this don't come out. But now it's out, and now the business is gonna have to decide what they want to do with the product that is Shannon Sharp.
Y'all
What'd you
old,
say?
y'all old youngins
No.
messing up the market. Man, this is why y'all the reason why the crime rate is so high.
That's crazy.
God,
What you
you said that's why
They
you got
can't
a
even
crime
get
rate
no
so high.
cat because y'all out here tricking off, man. Leave the young women alone. Leave it to the youngins, brother. That's all I'm saying. And I'm not saying you, Marsh, but I'm talking about your age range, your age bracket. Leave the young women alone. That's why the murder rate's so high. Because y'all
So the
out here
young women said
tricking
that the
off on
young
the
men
19
ain't
and
doing their
20-year-old.
DMV.
Sir, now are you done?
Huh?
Are you done with your tomfoolery?
Nah, man, I can't even take a young joint to IHOP no more. The first thing they ask, they want to go shopping. Y'all messing up the market. So can you please tell your buddies chill out, okay? Bill Belichick and all them, chill. Let's relax, all right? It's getting hot outside. Everybody is just too freaked out right now. We gotta chill. All right, I'm done now.
This is nothing new.
Facts.
First of all, I would never make excuses for no other grown man. But let me say this. It's a shakedown. We know what it is. Now, here's the deal. I have a problem when I see people talking about, oh, Shannon, why you messing with her and messing. Okay, first of all, she has an OnlyFans. So she's old enough to have an OnlyFans. A lot of you freaky perverts out here subscribing to her page. So that's one. Secondly, yes, you're too old to be messing with a 19, 20-year-old, because I don't even think that should turn you on at that age. However, you were in the league for 16, 17. You done seen everything there is already. So this ain't no newfound fame for Shannon. He's been a guy. He's a Hall of Famer. So he's seen all of this before. The problem with it now is you have social media and you have people that can see an easy way to tear someone down to get some money. Now, he was game goofy because the $25,000 a cheek comment would have, and the big black baby comment would have made me run. That's one. Or two, when we are out here moving in these spaces and we have somewhat of fame, celebrity, and we are a known public figure and we got a bag, I'ma just, if I was single, I'd just walk around with typed up NDAs.
Facts.
All I would do, because we're living in an age where real is fake and fake is real. That's the age we're living in, fellas. It has nothing to do with people got to stop blaming one side, because where is all this outrage when 50-year-old women and 40-year-old women is basically trapping these 21-year-old NBA guys?
It's true.
That's
100% double standard. Yeah.
Society has turned so one-sided. It's toxic masculinity. Well, here's the deal. Who the hell made up the term toxic masculinity? It wasn't a man.
Bunch of angry girls about something for sure.
They don't. How they gonna tell you what masculinity is when they're a woman? We gotta stop. And like, social media is giving too many people a voice that don't need a voice, and it's not really up to us to discern or debate or to even really have a valid opinion on what somebody doing in their bedroom. If it ain't rape when you consistently having consensual intercourse with this man. So if it also I have a daughter and about to have another daughter, right? So I don't rock with rapists, I rock with pedophiles, but we gotta find unlearn. You're having sex with this man multiple days. You cannot come out the woodwork, and you're not trying to file criminal charges. You just trying to file the lawsuit in the bag. That shit got to stop.
Yeah, we've seen this now. We've seen this so many times.
What you say?
I'm saying, yeah, we've seen this so many times where women are now kind of targeting successful men, right? Especially, I want to say successful men in the, you could say in the sports space, music space, social media space, because let's be real, they tend to be less intelligent, let's say the successful people, maybe finance or whatever, who do the same thing, but for some reason don't get caught and don't get put on blast. Again, it could be NDAs, contract, obviously they're not celebrities, so people don't care as much. So that's the thing. But without a doubt, it's just women trying to get a payday. So the thing, like what you said, this is two adults who had a relationship, they agreed to it. From the conversation, I can already tell when he was saying, oh, I'm going to choke you, this and that. That's the way they talk to each other. It could be a fetish. It could be something that they got going on. It wasn't in any, like, malicious, like, I'm going to do this to you, trying to hurt you. But it was their thing to turn each other on, whatever the case may be. Now, people are also angry about, Shannon Sharpe, a 50-year-old man with a 20-year-old. Let's be real. Leonardo DiCaprio's been doing this for decades, or for a while now. He's been famous for it. He don't really get attacked like this. And like I said, you have a bunch of finance guys, NFL owners in the business world who are 50, 60, with these 22-year-olds. They're billionaires doing their thing. And we all understand why. We understand why, it's a money thing. It's transactional. And you can just be honest about that. They don't love thing. And the women that are mad that Shannon's with the 20-year-old are probably mad that they're not with him. It's right. Probably some 37-year-old, 40-year-old, like, damn, just a good man, black man, successful, making good money. And she's just some 20-year-old white chick over here doing this thing, messing around. No need to do that, right? So there's so many things here going on. But at the end of the day, it's just two adults who made a decision, and she's just trying to cash out.
So my thing is this, too. I think
you're cutting off a bit, Doctor. You keep cutting in and out.
Can you hear me?
Yeah. Now, yeah.
Okay, so as men, as we get calmer.
Mm-hmm.
Our to go up or stay.
Are you still cutting in and out halfway? Is it just me?
Nah,
yeah, you cut in and out.
Yeah, you keep cutting it out. Maybe like
your voice cut in and out.
Yeah, just maybe like get him out or bring him back in.
Let me see.
Yeah.
But I will say this, I think right now it's
talk now.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Clear, yeah.
So real quick, as men are better or more stable, we better decisions. I think we just, it's like age like fine wine. So we're more of a stable, calmer, wiser person that has gone through mistakes in our 20s and 30s. So now we're kind of like the finished product, if you will. So look at Al Pacino. He just had a baby with, he 80 something years old. He just had a kid with somebody. So hit an expiration date biologically. Their prime is from 18 to maybe 35. While a man can keep doing this thing until he's 70, 75, 80 years old. So at the end of the day, older women can't like healthily have babies. Successful men, they probably, a lot of them have been in a marriage. They got kids already, grown kids. They may not be currently with their wives or the mother of their children anymore. So dating a younger woman can give them an opportunity to reproduce and make more what? Babies. Now, this particular situation wasn't that case. It was a hookup. It was like you said, a business transaction. My whole thing is why are we as people in society so gossipy and so worried about them rich people problems? Them ain't my type of, like, why are we so consumed with gossip and bullshit versus what's going on in the world? Like, eggs is $13. Like, gas is $5. Like, what?
We got bigger problems to worry about. You know, we got our mortgage payments, this and that. And yeah, I hear you.
So we sitting around gossiping, and like I said, we giving a lot of people a platform when a lot of these people shouldn't have a platform to speak. This is the pros and cons of social media in the danger of universe of the right. Everybody's dirty laundry getting aired out. Everybody's looking for a bag. It's nothing but extortion and blackmail. So I'm not paying nobody $10 million. I ain't paying nobody $10 if I didn't do nothing wrong. So I think by him doing that, you're admitting to something. To some guilt. Now, there's no law saying you can't choke your sex partner. You might like it. She said it.
A lot of women do, 100%. I think pretty sure we've all done it. You know, to our partners, they enjoy it without a doubt.
Even with my wife, we play around. I would never hit my wife or put my wife, but we play. Shut up, talking. That's. But for him to not see the play is what bothers me, because once again, he's not new to fame, celebrity, and being rich. He's played in the league for over a decade. He knows about the groupies. He knows about the bag chasers. He knows about, you know, these are wives and these are play toys. He knows about.
Like he could have got it out of the system because he already lived that life as a celebrity. Girls coming at him. It's not new to him.
But OG, can I ask you a question? What's wrong with a woman like 30? You still look young. I mean, I get the procreation part, but I feel like in that situation, he ain't trying to. Maybe, probably, I don't know. But I just feel like if you would have stayed with a certain age group and preferably a certain culture of women, yeah, you probably would have had to pay, but 50 million?
No, I'm gonna tell you.
You start high and settle for less. They just throw it.
No matter what color you are, it's wrong. It's wrong.
True.
A black woman to do that shit too. Let's cut the bullshit, man. They'll do
it. 50 million though.
Yes, they will do it too.
Yeah, but that's just the lawyer throwing out the figure, and then they settle for like 5, 7. You know what I mean? You just throw out a big number and you settle for.
This is a shakedown. I'm not saying he didn't do nothing wrong. Me personally, I don't want nothing to do with a 19 or 20-year-old. I'm sorry, it's not the experience. Man. But that's not the point. And not that you're saying it, but people got to stop, man. Man, like who you like, love who you love. That's true. Business. I don't care. That's just like, who cares? It's just like with the whole LGBTQ thing. That's your business. I don't care. As a heterosexual male, I can't be out here talking about, yeah, man, I had a threesome and I'm doing this and doing that. That'll be frowned upon, right? Okay, so why do we have to accept and get forced upon these other things? What you do in your bedroom is your business. If you're gay and you are a good CEO, I don't give a shit. You're a good CEO. That's what you do in your personal life is your business. You get what I'm saying? My thing, like, this is where I get a little perturbed. We got to stop having these old ass same regurgitated debates about black men versus black women. People, do you not understand what has happened in the last 5 years since COVID, when everybody got a podcast now and we keep having these same dumbass debates? Man, like who you like, love who you love, that's your business. I don't It has nothing to do with us in this chat. You get what I'm?
Yeah.
She's a woman. Women of any color will, if they could get a bag, they're gonna do this shit. That's what they do. Period. I think a lot of these women, if you falsely accuse someone of rape, your ass should go to jail.
Facts.
If you have defamation of character upon a man and you're a woman, because no matter what color the woman is, if a woman say anything, you guilty until proven innocent. That's how this shit works here. If you a celebrity or you famous. So let's just go there. At the end of the day, if that man did not do anything wrong, I'm not settling shit. Why do I have to pay 10 million? Oh, because you might damage my reputation? I could do whatever I want in my bedroom long as it's two consenting adults, right? Right? So why now, if it was so egregious and he raped you, then why aren't you doing a criminal? Why aren't you filing criminal charges instead of talking about a bag?
I think everyone knows it's like a shakedown. She's in for the money. Like I think the consensus for the most part is that, look, a lot of people might think what Shannon did was, weird or creepy because it's a 20-year-old and that's their opinion, I guess. Even if I think it's a stupid opinion, all the power to you. But I think most people agree that this is a shakedown to money thing. We've just seen it so often now in the social media world of successful men being targeted by women with false accusations. It's and again, it hurts real accusations. It hurts the ones where it actually happened, like with the Harvey Weinstein thing, where he clearly did the things that he did to those women, and they just creates doubt whenever it happens again. Because right now, anytime an athlete who has a net worth of 10, 20, 30, whatever the case may be, $1 million is accused of something, my first thought is, oh, it's a shakedown. Whether that's fair or not, because I've seen it so often, I'm like, yeah, it's a money grab, right? And maybe it really happened. That sucks. But because we've seen this now so often, again, and there's lawyers who specifically target athletes and just look for women to do that so they can get their little 20, 30%, whatever the case may be, that they, whatever they want to charge. So yeah, it's definitely a problem. It needs to stop. And like I said, minimum sentencing clause too. False accusation, minimum 10 years.
So exactly. So what about Drea and the young basketball player?
I think that little young nigga horny though.
Okay, but listen, is this not how much outrage was it when Drea basically preyed on this young kid, 21, 22 years old? She's 40.
I mean, it's a double standard for sure, but I do think some double standards in some way it's okay. Because like as a man, to me, it's like a 40-year-old coming at a 23-year-old. Yes, you could say it's just as manipulative for sure. But as a man, it's like if I think she's hot, it's cool. Like I'm not gonna.
But we doing that because if they listen, here's the deal. Like I said, I'm all for women having a voice. I'm all for women. Like I said, I got women in my family. I got daughters too, as well as a son. Right. My point is this: what's right is right, and what's wrong is wrong. If you want to be so equal all the time and you keep, the Me Too movement thing, you have to look at things the same way. We can't say, oh, it's a man, so whatever. You know what I'm saying? Or oh, it's an older.
No, I ain't saying it's a whatever, but at the end of the day though, like we gotta maintain some account because we're in a dominant position. Even in sex, even in the household, biblically, sexually, like we're always in a dominant position. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, they hold the keys to letting us get it, but we have to be the initiator. You know what I mean? Like,
no, she's grown. If at 18, can you go to war for the United States of America?
Of course.
And you get your brains blew out fighting on some foreign land for the United States of America?
Of course.
But you can't go buy no alcohol or no cigarettes.
You can while you're in the military though. They do let you.
Let's make everything equal.
You right.
She 19, 20 years old.
I want you.
Her daddy failed her. She's doing OnlyFans.
That's facts. That's true.
Yeah. Well, we can't say her daddy failed her now.
No. Yes, her daddy failed her.
Yeah. As a father, you can't control nothing your kids want to do.
Okay, so why are we vilifying another grown person for having a consensual relationship? All I'm hearing is, oh, he's weird, he's creepy. Man,
it's two adults doing their thing. 100%. Two adults.
Anybody saying that about Robert Kraft? Is anybody saying that about
me myself personally? I'm kind of like with Carl, like in a sense. Like, I'm in the middle. You know what I'm saying? I'm a millennial. I'm in the middle. I agree with what you're saying. They two grown adults, But at the same time, I kind of agree with what Carl's saying, bro, because they fucking up the market for the young. Because
no, they're not.
They are, because a lot of the times I do remember it. I do remember it because look, I gotta humiliate myself right now, man. I used to have a crush on a lot of them girls that used to go to park, bro. Like a lot of them little girls, bro. And they had them niggas that was like 26, 27, that had them 26-inch rims on their car, bro. And you just couldn't compete with it. And us being in high school used to come with the innocent game, thinking she a virgin or whatever the case may be. And you just lose out on it because you just didn't slap out X for the pussy.
Okay.
How did I even supposed to know that? I'm still a virgin. Like, how did I even know I was just supposed to flat out ask for it?
Can I say something?
Yes, sir. Go ahead.
How old are you?
I'm 33 now.
I'm 46. That same shit was happening when I was in high school. So it ain't nothing new. So all this, y'all messing it up. No. They gonna do, people gonna do it. I don't condone that shit. If you're 20 years old and you hanging out at high schools, you're a loser. That's because you can't get with older women your own fucking age. That's what I'm saying. However, you can't control your kids once they grown. I get that. But my daughter doing OnlyFans, I failed as a dad. And if she doing OnlyFans at 19, 20, I failed.
Oh, yeah.
That's facts, 100%.
But what if you ain't got, but you can't got no control over your kids after a certain age?
You can raise them with certain principles, morals.
You can raise them good as hell,
you
still do evil. You have no control over your kids at the end of the day when they hit a certain grade, bro.
Listen to me, man. If you do job as a father, that girl gonna know. There's a lot of shit I will do, but I ain't doing OnlyFans. I ain't a stripper. Come on, dog. Stop that. Y'all playing semantics, bro.
I'm not playing semantics. I'm just saying, brother.
I agree with that too. I think if you did your job, she would just go get her. She would go, whether she can go work at McDonald's. It could be a struggle, but she go work at McDonald's, save for another side business.
Listen,
for instance, we talk about these guys, but for instance, Dion, LeVar Ball, Serena Williams' dad, they left no room for them to do anything else but what they were great at. You see what I'm saying? Like, so you having a father in your life, you can dictate your kid.
Not necessarily true, because Dion's oldest son is doing whatever he doing.
But the thing with Dion's oldest son, he was in the league. He was in the league when.
No, he wasn't.
He was. He played for the what you call Bucky, around my age.
He ain't went
still. No. I'm not saying he went to the league. I'm saying Deion Sanders was in the league the time. But
no, listen, that boy got a scholarship, played at SMU. If I'm not mistaken.
He did. But the level, the reason why Shiloh and Shedeur better because he was a coach by the time.
No,
Shiloh and Shedeur.
Has nothing to do with that. Shiloh and Shedeur is way taller than Bucky. Bucky 5'9", bro.
So Bucky doesn't have the genetics.
Let's call it what it is. All I'm saying is there's no 100% guaranteed fact that a father is going to make sure their child is perfect. I'm not saying that. What I am saying is this. Listen to me. If I have failed as a father, if my daughter is 19 years old, fucking with a 56-year-old, slutting herself out for cash, I failed as a father. 100%. If my daughter is 19, 20 years old and stripping at Magic City and doing OnlyFans, I failed as a father. I'm telling you, that's my opinion, and I'm sticking to it. You failed as a father. Now, on the flip side of that, once they grown, they can do what they want to do. But I feel as though if I did my job as a father, I put all those morals and values into now. Hey, when they get grown, they could behind closed doors. Man, I don't even want to think about it when it comes to my daughter when she gets to that age. However, I did my job. She's not disrespecting herself publicly. She's not, everybody in the world ain't seeing her body. She is doing some shit behind closed doors and she grown. I didn't fail as a father. You get what I'm saying? If you are stripping in the club, 19, 20, and you ain't in nobody college or you ain't in a mentorship or a apprenticeship or trying to further your career using your brain, I failed as a father. And I'm all men. You failed as a father. Because generally speaking, boys are much more hard-headed than girls. Those are going to be the ones you really got to deal with The girls, if you got a good foundation and she got love, fear, and respect for you, and she'll feel shame. See, okay, so let me run off on a tangent real quick. Society has taken away shame. That's why all this
Facts, right? Everyone's
Yeah.
like I'm a teacher, or you a teacher. They don't flunk kids no more. It's no child left behind. That's why you got these. I'm not even gonna say it. That's why you got these low achieving students. The bar and standard is so low. They'll just pass them. If you got to be 16 in the 8th grade because you keep flunking, and then eventually they send you to continuation school. They don't do that no more. They just pass you through. So now that's what's wrong with y'all generation. We got a lot of YNs running around with no respect, no values, no morals. They don't listen to the OGs. For all the listeners out there, I'm tired of hearing this. Oh, the OGs failed us. No, y'all hard-headed and you don't listen.
Hey, D. Marsh, I hate to cut you off, but nigga, wasn't you out there in Freak Meat back in the day? Y'all was doing the same degenerate stuff, brother. No. You was out there in Atlanta with the camcorder, too. You can't sit here and just say that, man.
No. Do you have footage? Do you have proof?
None of that. No video evidence. Talk about
there is video evidence in it. They got a whole documentary about that Freak Meat stuff.
I wasn't there.
They only showed spurts though. Niggas really didn't camcord.
But that's the same degenerate.
They had it in multiple spots because the one what they didn't do in the documentary on was the one in Houston. This one in Atlanta, Mississippi. It was like a few of them all over there.
But March, that's your time frame, brother. Y'all doing the same degenerate. Y'all were just giving it out for free. The young niggas just had the common sense to charge. That's it. $25,000 per cheek.
No, you sound dumb. You're what you're
doing? Cheek. That's crazy.
You're trolling. It ain't got nothing to do with y'all. It's y'all. This is your shit. Your generation. Y'all do weird shit.
But it's the same freaky stuff y'all were doing back then. Y'all just ain't get caught.
Go back and look in the 90s and see how many sexual assault charges was brought up.
I will go and do the homework on that, but y'all was still doing freaky stuff back then.
I do think the age of social media has brought about like this charge going viral can get you paid. Whereas before, if you put out a charge, it might stay within a small group of people.
All I'm saying is this: if Marsh era was in today's era, they'll be doing the same freaky stuff. It'd be the same stuff. Everybody's degenerate, bro. Every generation. Y'all all freaks.
I'm telling you, I was there. You wasn't. I'm telling you.
I was strung out on crack and playing football. Like, you're back in y'all
That's
side.
the 80s. That's the 80s now.
Like, Marsh, like, come on, bro.
80s was the crack was that era. But, I mean, like, no, I get what you're saying. Like,
Lawrence Taylor won MVP.
Yeah, I just ain't have a phone, bro. Marsh, if y'all would have had phones, bro, it would have been bad.
Hey, he was cold. Don't get me wrong. He was cold, bro.
We did.
Oh, yeah, bro.
I mean, Tiger Woods was doing this for like a decade before the social media era, and he only got caught because of social media.
Y'all,
that is true too.
Yeah. I'm gonna keep it a buck with you, Mark. I think y'all was more freaky back then. You ask me.
Who got noise?
Huh?
Where's all that noise?
Noise that there's a lot of fuzzy noise.
Yeah, Marsh. I think y'all was more freakier back then, bro. I can't tell you. If y'all had phones back in y'all days, bro, the crap y'all used to do at Fresno State, because I know.
That's really everybody in college.
Because look. I'm gonna end it right here. I ain't gonna say no names, but one of your former football players is a pastor in Vegas, and I'm gonna just leave it at that. I ain't gonna say nothing else.
My best friend, and he ain't told you no lie.
Everybody lived their life in college. I think for sure. Again, we were fortunate enough to not have everything put on blast.
The point. Let's get back on subject, and everybody can speak. My thing is this: do I agree with it? Do I think it's weird for me? Yeah, cause I can't. That wouldn't do nothing for me. However, I have enough sense to know. As soon as if I was in his shoes and she told me put a big black baby in me multiple times or 25,000 a cheek, I would have ran. I'd have been a body, period, because that's not something. And furthermore, like I said, it wouldn't even get to that point with me, because if I was a single guy with with a bag, and I'm 50-some years old, and I got the opportunity. See, we could all have our opinions, but we don't have a pending $100 million deal about to happen. So everything changes, right? I know me, I'm grounded, I'm down to earth. I'm gonna be me whether I got $2 or $2 billion. That's just me. So my thing is, it really does. The money, I don't like money changes people. If you an asshole and you're broke, you're gonna be a rich asshole if you're rich. It's all the person. It only amplifies what you truly are. My thing is this. I'm pretty sure all of us in this chat, when you get behind closed doors in the privacy of your own home with your wife, your girlfriend, or your significant other, you're gonna do some shit that probably should have been on the porno. Let's just keep it 100. That's that. Furthermore, that's not for everybody business to know. So my whole point is, she's not really getting the scrutiny that she should be getting. You're 19, 20, you're an OnlyFans model, and you're basically a high dollar prostitute. That's what it looks like. And you're doing a shakedown. Now, that doesn't absolve Shannon Sharp. I think he's a little game goofy for allowing himself to be put in that situation. But I'm not gonna throw him under the bus and take away a deal because somebody is now trying to extort him. You get what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying. I ain't getting here to blame either party. I'm just saying the totality of the story is being lopsided, and we're making a bunch of mean jokes about an individual that I don't really think is warranted. Really, because we're now gossiping about this man's personal life on social media. Them is rich people problems. 90, 95, 96, 97, 98% of the country ain't got them problems, but they got the most to say about it. You ain't ever going to be in that situation, so shut up. My thing is, we know it's a shakedown. We know it's extortion. It is what it is. He put himself in that situation. He going to get himself out of that situation. Me personally, if I didn't do anything wrong, I'm not giving you 10 cents because now I'm admitting that I am guilty of something when I am not. We was into the, what do you call that shit? BDSM. We was into the rough sex. We seen all of that. Did y'all hear what she said? She played this out. Like she set him up.
It was planned. 100% it was planned.
So, okay, that's that. Now, you're falsely, the rape allegation is you're falsely accusing this guy. Now, you can't continue to deal with him after he didn't wear a condom and put it in your butt, right? But I to do it. But y'all see how she was saying, trying to bait him into saying something?
Hey, beat the case, Shannon. Says you gotta beat. You can beat this case, man. Beat the case.
Tails.
What you gotta do, man.
The tales that I tell so well.
The shame thing too, Dante. You made a good point about the shame thing. How now, I think girls before, whether it's the 80s, 90s, 70s, 2000s, did the same thing. Whatever you did in the bedroom with the other, whatever. Just now, they're just more open about talking to them. Like, oh, I suck this. I do this in the bedroom. I do this. Like, they're just more open about it. They'd be on podcasts bragging about it. Well, back then, you kept it private. You know what I mean? That was between you and the individual, or you and just your girlfriends. But now, everyone wants to be proud of it. And it goes back to, like you said, the shame thing, where, again, before people might have made sex tapes or have this and that. Now, they want to post it and try to get famous because they've seen other people do it. While before, you kept that private. And it was shameful to put it out.
Kim Kardashian and Paris Hilton popped it off.
100%. And look, shout out Kim though. She out here built $1 billion brand. There's a lot of people put it out and end up with nothing. She built $1 billion entity off that. So shout out Kim. She did it right. She did it first. Whatever you want to say, she did it right. Shout out to her.
So I think it comes down to, I'm not here to judge nobody because who am I, right? I'm not God. So that's whatever your judgment is for you. When it's that time for you to be judged. None of us are in a position to judge nobody. We can have opinions, but my opinion, like I said, once again, for me, I'm not about to be 56. I done played in the league 10, 15 years. I done already been exposed to all of this. I know what time it is, right? So I shouldn't even allow myself to fall for that because I've been to the mountaintop. Here's the thing. This is nothing new. That's what I'm trying to tell y'all. He's been successful. He's been rich. He's been a popular public, person. He's a Hall of Famer. What are we talking about? So yes, she targeted this man and then she finessed him. Okay, his bad for getting finessed. But his $100 million deal for a podcast should not be at stake. He shouldn't be paying nobody $10 million. what they should, like I said, if we start doing this ties into the shame part. If you, because it's not rape, it's I feel like I could get a bag, so I'm gonna say rape, right? And it's bad for victims of rape. That's you get what I'm saying?
Yep.
That's where I'm at with this. I'm not one of those misogynistic, toxic masculinity, grab them in the coochie. I'm not. That's not me. What I'm saying is there are a lot of real victims out here that this shit clouds that, and it minimizes, right, the gravity of that offense, because you have people like this who are bag chasing and they're using that R word to get the bag. If someone violates you sexually, ladies or gentlemen for that matter, go to the local authorities and report it as soon as possible. It's a crime. It's a crime. It's a criminal offense. It's not for you to file a civil lawsuit to get no money.
100%. Get that man in jail. 100%. He did that to you. Get that man in jail. Get him convicted with that.
Get them on the streets. Because if they are a sexual offender, we don't want them on the streets.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So it's so bad. I mean,
we got to protect our women.
That part.
And go to the feminism thing. Well, it's crazy because back in the day, feminism was about fighting for equal pay at work, fighting for the right to vote. Things that really matter. You're not gonna get with that. 100%. You have the right to work. Certain jobs are discriminated without a doubt. But now feminism has turned to let me hook up with 10 dudes on camera and not be judged. Let me do OnlyFans and not be judged. Let me, when did feminism change from fighting for your right to vote, to work, to be an equal human in society, to let me do all this dumb stuff and not get judged? It's crazy. What are you going to do?
It's a play. So we can talk about the whole Me Too movement. We could go as far back as the 60s and 70s. A lot of women were led into this feminism movement based on lies, right? It's all based on, yes, like, you want to vote, you should be able to vote. You want to be able to work, you should be able to work. Okay, the only reason why I think the government allowed women to start voting and getting into the workforce like that is so they could tax more people. That had nothing to do with equal rights. That was, hey, we could get more cheese if there's more working. That's what that was. See, the American people, we get tricked all day long, and the powers that be play this whole shit like puppets. And we over here arguing about what some rich person is doing in the confines of their own home, and eggs is $13. We are arguing. I'm finna do my Dr. Umar. We are arguing about what rich person is doing behind closed doors and eggs is $13. We are arguing about what a rich person is doing in their bedroom.
Stay away from the milk, my brother. See, they got you confused and lost, my brother. See, the white man is playing a trick, my brother. You got to stay away from the milk because it's $15.99 and it has the expiration date.
Hey, man, good milk is quality milk. There's quality milk out there. Whether it's chocolate milk, regular milk, lactose free.
Okay.
Just to end this off, Monique did warn this Negro, though, so you can't feel bad. So I'm going to leave that at that.
At Williams. But to wrap it up, it don't matter what color these women are, Carl, like, they'll all do it if they have an opportunity to do it. And furthermore, that lawyer is the one that's bag chasing because he put her up to seek the damages and all. Because, like I said, if my sister was a victim of sexual assault or my daughter, first of all, I'm about to go holler at them. And I'm also filing police reports, and it's a criminal offense. Once again, it's not a case of bag.
All right.
Yep.
So transitioning, this is a perfect topic for you. First pick of the draft, Cam Ward with the Tennessee Titans. I feel like the Titans did pretty good, man. I'm gonna go around, let everybody talk about how they feel like their team did. But I want to start off with you, OG. How do you feel about
You right, Bama. Hold on one second.
The Raiders had a good draft.
Yeah.
I think we had a good draft. I'm going to say, I just want to real quick address this. I think Shedeur is a hell of a player. I think he's an above average quarterback. multiple things can be true at the same time. I think this was a situation of somewhat of buck breaking, but I also think a lot of people are getting blinded and turning it into just a race thing.
Facts.
Since I played 12 years of pro football, I'll give you the other end of the spectrum. And I'm a black guy. And I love Deion Sanders, and I love what he's done, and I love his legacy. I love what he's done with his kids. However, y'all ain't y'all daddy. Y'all just not daddy. You're not. It was only one prime. You have the lineage and you got the blood running through your vein, but you ain't quite as good as your daddy. So you can't be as confident as your father. Now, I want to make this clear before people get to bashing me. You supposed to be confident. I was confident when I was playing. However, if you are a general manager or owner of a professional football team and you're picking in the first 10 picks of the draft, the first 5 picks of the draft, you probably had one of the shittiest records in the league the previous year. Now, do I really want to take a draft pick on a guy that is a pretty good player, but he comes with a Hall of Fame daddy who got a gold jacket that didn't buy it? Arguably the best cornerback to ever put football cleats. A polarizing figure, a highly well-respected figure and hated figure at the same time. Do I really want to have Deion Jr. and the media team, all the videos, all on the records in my locker room when I have a team that was shitty the previous year? Mm-hmm. Do I really want to bring in a Shedeur Sanders who has to sit behind my starter and I've got to answer questions about Shedeur Sanders the first season versus all the other players that are on the team? Do I really want to deal with the circus that's going to come with that? And I'm not saying that Shedeur is like that. I think that he's a phenomenal young man. I just think, this a good old boys club still, fellas. We don't get the same grace as them folks, fellas. So let's not act like we don't understand that already, fellas. This ain't an Archie Manning, Eli Manning thing. It's a big difference. And the big difference is this. You get what I'm saying? So we know we don't get the same leeway as some other people. We know this already, right or wrong. So why are we making this a deal? And I'm willing to go out on a limb. If you was to check the ratings for the last 10 or 15 years of the NFL draft, I bet you this draft had the highest ratings and produced the most money.
The ratings were probably solid. I mean, to add on,
especially into the day 2 and day 3. Day 2, for sure.
I will say to add on to that, like you hit the point. To me, the biggest point was Shedeur Sanders was talking like he was the undisputed number one, like he was a Heisman winner, setting records in college, like he was that guy. And in life, you got to understand, people who are really, when you're at the top of your profession, you can get away with more. That's every aspect. Like in sports, if you're the LeBron James, if you're if you're the Lamar Jackson, Peyton Mannings of the world, Tom Brady's, if you're the Wayne Gretzky, Crosby's, you can get away with a lot more talking your talk, acting, whatever. But if you're good, and if you're middle tier, you just get away with less. That's just the way. That's everything. Again, you could be an accountant. If you're the best accountant in your firm, you can get away with a lot more than the 6th best accountant at your firm. That's just the way life is. So with Shedeur, his talk in the game wasn't really matching, like you said. So is it worth taking a good college quarterback with potential, with the extra baggage that comes along with it? And a lot of teams to them, probably not. And I also read some reports, again, I don't know if it's verified or not, that the team interview that he had with some people rubbed them the wrong way. Maybe he wasn't as professional as they liked. They're saying he wasn't saying the right things. And we've seen whether you want to call it character issues, red flags with quarterbacks. But the quarterback position definitely matters more because you're supposed to be a leader on the team as well. And Shedeur's the type of guy, again, who it's either you love him or hate him. I think a lot of the guys in the locker room are going to love him, run through a brick wall for him. Other guys might be like, hey, chill out, calm down, might not like with it. So with the quarterback position, with kind of Shedeur's personality and attitude, might not be the best fit in all locker rooms. So again, I think what it came down to was those factors versus do I think race played a role? Look, do I think him being the son of a successful black man who's very brash and outspoken and out there? Sure, 100%. And that's Deion. But Deion, it's okay. When Deion can talk because he's him. Dion was talking that talk, he still go first overall because his game backs it up, right? And NFL, at the end of the day, the NFL, they want to make money and win, right? And they know Dion's going to make you money and win, so they would have drafted him. But with Shedeur, that game wasn't matching up. So to me, that was the biggest thing with him. And no, hopefully he does well though. Hopefully he does do well. And I think it'll be interesting for the Browns.
I just
Oh.
one more real quick,
Yeah.
and I just also think there was also a first overall pick that was a black quarterback, Cam Ward, right? Here's what I'm saying. We spent more time being chatty patties about Shedeur and all those deserving young men who just got the biggest announcement of their lives. All of that would play second fiddle to this controversy. We got to remember, controversy sells in America. Sex sells in America. You get what I'm saying? So all I'm saying is it's multiple, layers to this whole situation. I don't truly think it was just, oh, this brash black man, we gonna show him. It's more to it. Also, look at I think, like I said, multiple things can be true at once. I think it was some form of public buck breaking, right? But I also do think, like you just said, and what I earlier, I don't think he was a clear cut number one, top 5 pick, undisputed guy. And that's why that, along with the alleged bad interviews, it went south. And I mean, at the end of the day, as a Raider fan, I think he was still there, 3rd, 4th round. We should have grabbed him. But once again, what type of circus does that come with in your locker?
Mm-hmm.
So
if my hold on one second, Carl, because I was talking earlier to my homie Jam, and I just wanted to hear him put his take on it, because the take he had said, dog, like out of all of it, I think that I could definitely see it, because y'all hit it on the head for us with the circus aspect of it, and it's not skin color. They wouldn't have drafted Jalen Milroe or Cam Ward if it was skin color.
Fact.
And Cam Newton, they've been drafting quarterbacks in the first round for a decade, so it's like
number 1 overall.
Yeah, so it wouldn't be a skin. I think this is what it is. And if Jam here, you can go ahead and like take it from me.
All right. Hey, good evening, fellas. What's going on? Y'all can hear me good?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I hear you.
Yeah, I was on the phone with Bama earlier today, and like you guys were saying earlier, I was saying, first of all, nobody want to willingly sign up for that circus that comes with signing Shedeur Sanders. And I'm going to speak on that later, but what I really want to say is the biggest thing I get from Shedeur and that goes against him as a quarterback is he got Deion Sanders' attitude, but Shedeur Sanders' talent.
Yep.
He kind of rides his dad's name a little too much, because at the end of the day, as a former player, I know the best thing a player could do is stop, realize how good you really are, and see what the holes in your game and work on it. Shedeur act like he was number 1 overall before the picks even hit the board. You know what I'm saying? And to be honest with you, GMs don't like that. They like confidence. They could deal with a little cockiness, but when your play don't match what you say, a lot of it rub a lot of people the wrong way. I ain't trying to rhyme, I swear. But at the end of the day, man, I sit back and I watch him drop in the draft. And honestly, in my opinion, I didn't think he was that good to go in the first round. And I thought he would be a good pick in the second and a steal in the third. That's what I thought. But Cam Ward going first overall, that's a no-brainer. You know what I'm saying? At the quarterback position. And like Bama said earlier, we could get off the race card, because Cam Ward is not the first ever black quarterback drafted in the first round. You know what I'm saying? So everybody want to ride the race. You can kind of get off that. These GMs, the name of the game is to win. And
When they make money.
right? But one thing people fail to realize, even the worst NFL teams still sell tickets. The NFL is going to sell tickets, whether they got Sanders on the sideline and at the end of every game on the field talking to the press, or they got Cam Ward You know what I'm saying? They're gonna sell tickets regardless. So they're not sold on we getting. They're not so much focused on what we get, like the circus or the camaraderie we get with drafting Deion Sanders' son. They can live without that. But what they can't live without is drafting a player who brings a lot of attention and don't really lives up to the attention. You know what I'm saying? Because if you draft Shedeur, you put him on the bench, they booing you.
Mm-hmm.
You start him, everybody on ESPN gonna be talking about you. You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of like up in
And
the air unless he proves himself.
mm-hmm.
You feel me? Like now, I'm kind of glad he went late because he got to shut up and play football. You get to walk in the locker room. You're not the most famous person anymore. You don't have the most money anymore. You got to put your shoes on and win your spot. And
Mm-hmm.
if he come up out of that, I salute him. But this is his ultimate test.
This
I
could be a
watched
good
that
humbling
live
moment for
stream.
him.
I watched that live stream, and even though his voice was sad, I liked it though. His brother asked him, he was like, "So we gonna make that new trap?" That nigga, he said instantly. Shedeur said, "Nah, bro, I'm ready to really get to
Exactly.
play
He getting that
football."
chip.
Like,
He
This
don't
could
getting
get
be,
that
me
this is
chip.
a good
wrong.
humbling for him.
Don't
This is
get
a
me
good humbling.
wrong. He
So
had like a little crack in his voice, like to where it felt like a piece of him died. But that part of you needed to die if you wanted to be a football player.
That was that humbling
Like
moment.
exactly, and this
Yeah.
go to a word to all of them NIL athletes. Now they getting all of this money and they feel like they can redefine themselves and I want to do into this, bro. Remember, if you there to play football, bro, you need to focus on being the best football player you can be. That's what got you the money. That's what opened the door for you to get that NIL back. Y'all didn't want to be full-time fashion designers or full-time rappers. You use football to get you this money, and then you said, "Oh shit, I really want to do this." Now that's just not how it works, fellas.
Right, bro.
You
Right. Can I speak on that,
Travis,
bro?
Oh yeah, go ahead.
Oh
But
no, no,
Travis
go
brought
ahead.
up the greatest point. Travis brought up the greatest point when this whole NIL thing was going on. They talked to Travis. Travis said, "Yeah, NIL is good. NIL gives you a chance to get money, but he said the NIL isn't something that's forever. He said it's something to get me to the NFL, which is forever. Because once I get the NFL contract, now I can retire my family." He said that's what I'm grinding for, is to be able to get the NFL contract to retire my family. Which is right, because we see plenty of guys getting 120 mil, 300 million, 200 million. So I feel like those contracts are more set up for the longevity, the long run, if you manage it, of course. But yeah, you go ahead and y'all can go ahead and chime in after that.
Yeah. Like I said, I was happy that Shedeur got drafted fifth round, man. Like I said, when you wake up as a young black kid and money is the last thing of your worries, that is a blessing to have, especially when your father is Coach Prime. So I said that on my TikTok. I said you
That's a
gotta
fact.
look at the positive aspect of this whole situation. Like it's not a bad thing. It's a humbling thing. He needs to lace up them cleats and he needs to go throw a football. Your daddy can't get you out of everything. Just because your
That's a
daddy's
fact.
famous, black, has a big name, he's not above nothing at the end of the day. He's not above nothing that goes on in the NFL. He can't get you a first round pick.
But
Now,
but he's a trust fund baby. So not this is what I don't understand. Everybody so take it like it's such disrespect. Man, knock it off. Like my man just said, he gotta go out here and earn it. Everybody has to earn it. It's a blessing to be able to do the things that Dion has done for his family. Man, he's a rock star in my life as a kid growing up watching him, and he's get the utmost respect. And I love what he's doing with black coaches and former players, giving them opportunities and changing young black men's lives. Right? That's phenomenal. The only thing that I have a problem with is the media and the pundits create this divide. Now, what's the water cooler talk for the next few weeks? It's about this, and it's not really that important. Once again, these is rich people problems. Whether he throws a football, he throw a football again in his life, he's good
Facts.
financial generations. So what are we making a big story? It really is small. Now he goes in, like he said, you go in not the focal point, and now you really got to earn it, right? And it's a no-win situation had he got drafted in the first round because whatever team took him, If you sit him on the bench, like my man said, it's gonna be boo or
Boo, yeah.
Or Dion going on media being like he needs
that,
to start. Yeah,
that's what these people was afraid of. Y'all gotta really like between the lines.
Also, too, Dante, what they was afraid of too. If Shedeur, because me and Jam talked about this. So Shedeur's play style is kind of, and it's not just him. It's almost every quarter. His play style is very selfish, and what I mean by that is, instead of him throwing the ball away, he'll take a sack because he don't want to go against his completion percentage. So with him doing that, right, taking sacks instead of throwing the ball away, and keeping it down short distance and stuff like that, now it looks like the O-line is not doing their job. And of course, you know him, he very vocal. Oh, I didn't have time, all this XYZ and stuff. Now, with him having those, like, you know, because especially the NFL being a numbers game, you can see this down the road. If the coach is doing bad, but Shedeur still looks like he's being a competent quarterback, now you get the whole circus of, should Dion come and coach this team? No head coach wants that above their head, or offensive coordinator want that over their head. Like, I don't think people understand. Not only I can't evaluate him as a true player, because if he's just fucking trash, just say he's trash, OG. I'm not gonna start him if he's trash, but I'm still gonna get booed because on the outside looking in, them statisticians gonna be like, well, he should be playing because he fell to the 5th round because of bullshit anyway. You see what I'm saying? Like, so why is y'all holding him, man? Stop holding him.
That's something else I sat back and thought about. Like, I think about, you got a quarterback and his head coach been his daddy his whole life. He ain't never had that weight on his back of F up again, you going on the bench. You know what I'm saying? Like, he might shrug his shoulder and get mad at his daddy, but they gonna be good at the end of the night. You know what I'm saying? Like, from me in high school and college, I've seen quarterbacks get pulled. I've seen the backup turn into the star, but they always had that weight on their shoulder, knowing you mess up too many times, the next man up.
Mm-hmm.
And now you in the NFL, you ain't finna be getting them number 1 reps. You ain't walking in the favorite. I just want to see his character. I want to see how because personally, I don't think he can handle it. I just think he a baby, bro. I just think he a baby.
I see what you're saying. I could see him having a problem not being, like you said, the most famous guy in the room, richest, not being that celebrity in the NFL. Because there's a lot of those guys in the NFL who are bigger, more accomplished, more money, whatever the case may be. So it might be an adjustment period, but he's also young, right? As he goes older, maybe that's something he learns in the NFL. I think, you know, you do become, in some ways, you become a boy to a man in the NFL, you know, especially in that locker room. There's a vet out there who can really kind of show him the way. I think he'll be fine, but I could definitely see him being a difficult transition.
Same time too, the NFL chess not checkers. So cool. Shedeur come in as the privileged rich kid, right? Well, fuck it. If you is the privileged rich kid, I'm gonna go ahead and stack my team then, because why would I waste the 1st round draft pick on a kid who could or could not be all fully invested in my team, right? So how about this? We are still gonna draft you because you are a good talent, right? But these first 2, 3, 4 rounds, I'm going to get some kids. I'm going to get the best possible talent I can get real quick before we get to you, right? Because first off, 21 teams wanted to interview him. He only took 5 interviews right there. So you just put an ultimate stain on yourself. Like, listen.
Yeah, like, come on, bro.
Like, listen.
And people comparing that to John Elway, I'm like, hold up. John Elway was a different beast in college. I just want to say, John Elway, he was a different beast in college.
John Elway had the option to go play baseball if a wrong team drafted him.
Too.
Right.
Exactly. Yeah.
Bo Jackson had the opportunity to go play baseball when Tampa Bay drafted him. That's why he got drafted 6th, 7th round by the Raiders the following year. See, here's the problem I have with social media. You got a lot of babies that don't know nothing, making comments and voicing their opinion. They don't even know what they be talking about. The bottom line is this. What did I say earlier? Multiple things can be true at the same time. I love him. Do I love him I'm from Oakland. I've been a Raider fan my entire 46 years of my life. Did I love him enough to go 6 for him at 6? Nope. Did I love him enough to go in the second round? Maybe. Did I love him enough in the third and the fourth? Hell yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I played pro football. I got a year in the NFL. I got 11 Hall of Fame careers in the Canadian Football League. I did my own contracts. I know how that stuff works. I just hate to see comments of people that play JV or never play ball at all, and they think they know what they're talking about. He was good, but he wasn't great. Do y'all not understand that?
Bro, you hit it on the head, bro.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. We said it earlier, and my man alluded to it again. You got your daddy's confidence, but not your daddy's abilities.
Yeah.
So that just proves why his jersey.
Now, if he had an arm like Jamarcus Russell or something freakish that just jumped off the charts,
we wouldn't be here. We wouldn't be here right now.
We wouldn't be here. But it's the fact that it's the fact that this I'm talking about perfect. When I say perfect, I mean perfect. In the perfect situation, we can hope for him to be Tom Brady, Drew Brees, Joe Burrow. That is literally the perfect situation for quarterbacks with his build. Those guys who had the average type arms, wasn't fully mobile. That is a perfect situation that he can be. But we know those guys also come with grit, right? Those guys got a different other dynamic to them than just, them being a game manager. That's a perfect. But also,
question. An NFL owner, that's his team, right?
Mm-hmm.
He owns the team, right?
Correct. 1,000%.
If you own something, you own a house, you own a business, you own something, you could do whatever the hell you want to do with it.
That's
so
true.
How about this? Let's look at it from this perspective. If they don't want to draft you, they don't have to draft you. It's not, guys, and I'm one of the most pro-black people that out there. Carl know this. But can we look at the whole scenario? Because I think what's happening is, especially in the black community, we doing too much with this one-sided argument. Multiple things can be true at the same time. I keep saying it. I think personally it was some public buck breaking to an extent. However, allegedly, because I wasn't there, allegedly, a team want to interview you that gave you install. You didn't even prepare.
Yeah.
For those that don't, when you do these interviews with these teams, sometimes they may, especially at the quarterback position, they may ask you to get up on the board and draw some shit up. Once again, his daddy told teams, if you ain't picking in the first 4 or 5 picks, I don't need to interview with you. Once again, you ain't your daddy, right? So for him to be that arrogant, that's no longer confidence, that's arrogance, right? You get what I'm saying? So is he an above average quarterback in my opinion? Hell yeah. Do I think he got some potential and some upside? Hell yeah. Do I think that he can go in and save a franchise as the first top 5 picks? I don't think so. I think in a perfect scenario, he could be a guy later on down the line that could possibly get you late into the playoffs, maybe a Super Bowl berth. All things being equal, like a Purdy, if you will, right? So we got to get off the race thing and go to the middle, because he has to own some of this stuff that came with this, right? You didn't throw at the combine, you didn't work out. I think he should have did that. I think he should have. You're a quarterback. You don't have to run.
Him, especially. Again, he cannot see. Cam Ward has multiple highlights, multiple splash plays that make you be like, holy fuck, like, how the fuck did you throw that ball? Like, you go to the Florida game, Louisville game, it's multiple where he throw them piss missiles. I'm talking about ropes. I'm talking about, golly. Shedeur, he has it to where, like, their drives, like he'll be getting hit, he'll get hit, getting his chest plate blew out, and he'll deliver a good, accurate throw. It's never really the throw itself. It's the whole collective, the pressure was there, and he was still able to deliver the ball. Again, I think if he had a freakish talent, a freakish skill set, yeah, maybe you don't have to go to the draft. I mean, the combine. But like what you said, he's an above average quarterback. You see what I'm saying? So above average guys still have to prove that they're above average because average is in your title. Like it's still in your title. It's not like you're a freak of nature where there's no average in there. So they're gonna fool you. Jadeveon Clowney can fool you because he was a freak of nature. He had something that just popped off the charts at you, where it's just like, all right, I'm gonna just go against my whole instinct because of this one freakish thing right here. Shedeur?
Hey, Bam, can I say something real quick?
Yeah.
Bam, Marsh, I got a question for you.
Yeah.
So with all this talk about Shedeur, Marsh, doesn't this prove why this dude should never got his jersey retired? I just wanted to throw that in there, bro.
Bro, can I speak on that?
Yeah, just
Look,
That's different. That's different.
Hey, I'm just saying.
Can I
Hey,
speak
I
on-
don't want to talk about it, but I'm gonna talk about it. And
I got something to say about that.
Toxic chick in a relationship.
So let me answer your question. And somebody in the chat saying everybody thought he was getting drafted high. No, everybody did not. No, they did not. Like I said, I want it. I want right for that 6. Now, to what you just asked, Carl, we had a little group conversation a few days ago about this very subject. Now, for the young people that wasn't born yet, that don't know, Colorado was like that in the 90s, people. Don't drink the Kool-Aid that, oh, Colorado ain't never been nothing. Colorado was really like that in the 90s.
Colorado had a Heisman winner, right?
Yeah, hold on. I'm gonna give you some receipts real quick. So Travis Hunter is a phenomenal athlete, but he wasn't even he's not the best corner to come out of Colorado. There's a guy by the name of Deion Figures who won a national championship with Colorado in 1990, who went first round, who won the Thorpe, who was a 2-time unanimous All-American corner at Colorado. They've had guys. Furthermore, let's talk about this jersey retiring stuff. You got Cordell Stewart, you got Eric Bieniemy, you got Rashawn Salam, you got Deion Figures, there's a litany, there's a long list of guys that were phenomenal, right? That came to Colorado. They didn't get, if I was a CU alum that played on that championship team and went to the league and all that, I would feel slapped in the face that these dudes is getting their jersey retired and they ain't even left the school yet. It's a multitude of things that contributed to the downfall or the slide of Shedeur in this draft. That's all I'm saying. So once again, do I think he was a first round draft pick? No. Do I think he was a second round draft pick? Third, definitely. Fourth, definitely. He should have went no later than the third or fourth round, in my humble opinion. Now, once again, there's so much stuff. Deion is outspoken. He'll get on a show, a podcast, a ESPN, and he'll be very vocal about what's on his mind. He ain't gonna hold his tongue. What coach, what GM, what owner wants to deal with that? That's what I'm trying to tell people. Y'all, you can't make it about, because he's a black quarterback. Cam Ward went first overall. What are we talking about? Milroe went 4th round to the Seahawks. What are we talking about? We give so much attention to somebody that's already good financially for generations.
To add to that too, I think we have to realize too, the NFL, out of any other league, they push the narrative that the shield is bigger than any individual.
Yeah,
right? The NBA will push their players. MLB
it's a player empowerment.
Yeah, like the
NBA
NFL
always tell you that.
Exactly. Yeah, NBA is always player empowerment. But the NFL, they will tell you, no matter how good, whether you're Tom Brady, Mahomes, they don't care. The shield is always bigger than any individual player. And again, with Deion being as spoken as he and Shedeur with the attitude, this was kind of like a reminder, like, hey, you want to come in, talk like you're going to be, the face of the NFL right away, or that guy, where the case may be. It's like, hold up. We're the NFL. Yeah, and again, another thing, I think Colin Cowherd said it best. A lot of people kind of got angry about it too. I'm just like, at the end of the day, you are being hired as an employee. You are an employee, right? Athletes, and I get it. You're making tons of money, but you're still an employee to a billionaire who is signing your check. Right?
Yeah,
so
the NFL.
20, a billionaire is signing your check. You got to remember that. A billionaire is signing your check. You are an employee. So you have to remember that too. And an owner of any business can decide who they want to hire. Like you said, who they want to hire, who they want to work with them. Regardless, you can be the best candidate out there. He just might not like you. They won't hire you. And that's the real world too. You can be the best financial advisor, whatever the case may be. I don't like you. You're not working at my firm. And that's the reality of the situation.
That's a fact. And the NFL whether people realize it or not, is very, very, very big on tradition. Like you was talking about the Shield, they have a certain way that they want you to enter the league, and it's a certain standard that you gotta abide by when you're in the league. You know what I'm saying? Like my dad, he was in college in the 80s. So he got like a big roadmap. He always talk about how to act, your conduct. You know what I'm saying? So well, my whole thing is there's no way in the world that Shedeur Sanders should be having his jersey retired at the same ceremony as the Heisman winner. Do you know how that looked to the Shield? That to me, I feel like they think that's selfish because one, yeah, they was there 2 seasons, but you got a Heisman winner. He deserved everything that come with it. Heisman winners, and then Colorado, like Dante was saying earlier, I don't remember them. I wasn't born yet, but I know Colorado was good back then. Colorado wasn't just no slap school that they put out players. You feel me? And Travis Hunter being a Heisman winner, he deserved his jersey getting retired. I think he should have did it when he was gone.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Like when he was in the league.
5 years.
Yes.
So right away is when you have a problem with.
Not to cut you off, but I'm gonna say this and I'm gonna be quiet. Charles Woodson was the best college corner, period. During his tenure, I seen I worked out with Wood. He's phenomenal. On ABC on Sunday in the Big Ten, Ohio State, Michigan State, it didn't matter who it was. He ran away with that. It wasn't even close. Like you put 5 plays in, he was getting the ball, he was gonna score on offense. He didn't have to play the whole game on offense. He got back there on punt return, he cribbed it. The man was making all these phenomenal interceptions on defense. It wasn't even close. So he didn't get his number 2 retired before he left Michigan. So
I'm with you. Yeah.
Here's my problem with that. You're setting a bad precedent. Once again, ask a question. Is Shedeur Sanders better than Cordell Stewart at Colorado?
I don't think so.
Ain't no think to it. No.
This is my opinion.
The only pushback I would say.
Absolutely not. He wasn't.
Right.
Yeah, on the field, sure. Yeah, on the field without that.
Okay.
I don't know. I might have to say Champ Bailey's the best college cornerback ever. But then to each his own.
Hell no. I watched all that tape. I ain't gonna lie. I'm not. Champ Bailey was cool. He was like one of the first prototype. But I give you this, OG. Charles Woodson was a freak. I ain't gonna lie.
Bro, in my opinion, it was nobody like Charles Woodson. Bro.
He was different. He was different.
I don't want to.
Travis Hunter's not like Charles Woodson.
And I don't want to turn down Champ because Champ was great. Champ was great. He was phenomenal. But Charles and Travis, they tracking ability, especially.
I'm taking Champ over Charles. I'm taking Champ over Hunter.
Travis.
Tripping.
Okay.
That tracking
corner.
ability. I'm talking about the degree of like what Dante said. The degree of difficulty, the interceptions they catch is different, especially Charles Woodson. Like I saw one Charles Woodson ran and instantly turned into the receiver and caught it. Like it.
No,
I think people understand.
But I'm taking Champ over Hunter.
But what I'm saying is both of them, Hunter and Charles Woodson, when they catch the ball, it's not only when they pick the ball off, they instantly turn around and it's like, oh shit, I gotta get them on the ground. Champ, like he'll catch picks and stuff like that. Like he'll catch picks, but like how Hunter and Woodson got the ability to stick and then just instantly turn around and turn into an offensive player. Like that shit is wonderful.
Nah, bro, that's just a simple fact of when you're dealing with a cornerback and then you got somebody who's just more like the athlete side. Because Champ, he finna come play cornerback.
Right.
And he gonna lock you down. Travis Hunter, Charles Woodson, them boys just naturally athletic. You know what I'm saying? And they 3-step and open up look a little different than Champ 3-step and open up. But at the end of the day, it got the job done. Some make it look better. But if I'm going with my franchise, I take Champ over Charles because I feel like I can get 20 years out of Champ.
Yeah, Champ was better in the NFL. Champ was better in the NFL.
Yeah, in the league.
Time out. For those that don't know, Champ Bailey in some games in the SEC played every snap
Yeah.
Both.
Oh yeah. Versus LSU.
Why,
Yeah.
I
why,
watched it. I
Yeah.
went back and watched it
Hey,
versus LSU. That was his
I
best.
know.
That was his
I'm
best
a
two-way
Florida boy.
game.
I know.
I
so
will give y'all that. That was his best two-way game right there.
here's my
Yeah.
point. The reason why you can arguably, and the young folks don't know, but I'm gonna give you some game. Arguably, the best corner to ever play the game can be either one of these names I'm finna give you in no particular order. Dion is not just the undisputed one. By the way, there's another guy that's 6'2" that had world-class speed that went to the Pro Bowl at corner, safety, and punt returner who played 17 plus years too.
Oh, Rob.
Rod Woodson, and he
Yeah.
he got 71 interceptions. Then there's a guy by the name of Daryl Green. Then there's a guy by the name of Charles Woodson. And see, Charles Woodson and Champ Bailey are 1A because they both could do the same stuff. They could tackle well. They could play safety, nickel.
Champ was faster though, Marsh. Champ was faster.
I don't know.
Listen,
You're crazy.
are we arguing the moot points?
I'm not arguing, but I'm just saying Champ was faster though. You know that.
Point is this: none of that matters.
Damn, Champ was faster. I don't know why you shaking your head. Champ was faster, and that's facts.
None of that matters. What I'm saying is this: those guys aren't strictly cover guys. When y'all got to remember, when Wood left Oakland the first time, they thought his career was over. He only had 2 teams that was even interested in a free agent deal. Dom Capers, who I believe was the DC, created that whole defense around C. Wood. They moved him inside. He won Defensive Player of the Year. He had 9-10 picks.
Yeah, you're right about that.
Then when he came back to the Raiders, he moved to safety and was making plays and made the Pro Bowl. And he played 17 years. The reason I would take a Charles, a Rod, a Champ, a Revis, a Dion, a Daryl Green is because if you just want a cover guy with crazy athletic speed and all this stuff, Dion is your guy. But if you want a complete all-around DB, those other guys I'm talking about fit the bill. You get what I'm saying? So I'm not in a debate about this and that. All I'm saying, let's get back on topic. Travis Hunter is a generational talent. He's phenomenal. But by no means should them boys be getting their jerseys retired right now. It should be at least 5 years down the road. And the reason why I say that is I just named other guys who didn't. Dion jersey didn't get retired coming out of Florida State because Samari Rowe wore it last. What are we talking?
This is the thing. I agree with everything you're saying in terms of the on-field play. My only pushback is why I think, you know what, maybe they can get their jersey retired, that's fine. It's because kind of the resurrection of a program and what they brought in terms of the eyeballs, the money. Like they made Colorado State was the biggest thing in sports for a couple of weeks. They were bigger than every NBA team, MLB team. Like, they were putting up viewership numbers that was like the pro teams. The eyeballs, everything was on them. So because of those outside factors,
that shouldn't
combination. I mean, you can say that it shouldn't factor in. I get that, but I think in today's world it does, and I think that's why they got the jersey retired.
I get what you're saying, but now we're muddying the waters of sports because guys going to Hall of Fame based on popularity, which we know that happens. But my point is, let's stick to the on-field production. Did he produce? Yes. Was he even the best corner in this draft? I don't think so. I think Will Johnson, to me, was the best corner in the draft. So that's just my opinion.
I hear what you're saying.
However,
what about guys like, like in the NBA, like Udonis Haslem, who was in the Miami Heat for so long and he contributed. He was never a superstar, but because of what he brought to that organization, they retired his jersey. Do you think it's kind of like that because of what they brought to the Colorado State organization in school?
I think for Shedeur more so than Travis.
That can't validate retiring a jersey before you even left the campus.
I hear that. They could have waited. I definitely hear that. It was a quick retirement.
You got guys like Eric Bieniemy who went first round, who won a national championship. He didn't get his number 1 retired while he was still on campus. We got to.
They do, Carl. They do make you wait 5 years to be in the Hall of Fame at Shasta too.
That's true.
They make you wait 5 years before they put you in the Hall of Fame. Dead ass.
All I'm saying. We gotta. I think that's part of the circus, right? Right, Bam. That's the stuff we talking about. Who wants to deal with that circuit? And I think when you a team that was shitty the previous season, case in point, how many teams is turning down Hard Knocks? All of them damn near. You don't know on Hard Knocks. Yeah. So why the hell would you sign up for Shedeur Sanders Hard Knocks? That's what it's going to be.
Well,
I'm just saying. Now, if you're
setting is hard.
I'm just saying, if you're a team like I said, my Raiders in the 4th round, hell yeah, sit behind Geno Smith for a couple years, learn it. You got Tom Brady there, who you already got a rapport with. You got Pete Carroll and you got Chip Kelly. Okay, maybe that might be, and you got weapons now. Baby, we got weapons. So that would have been the best case scenario that I was actually rooting for, was a 3rd, 4th round pick by my Raiders to bring him in. Now, once again, y'all do know that, for example, the Raiders couldn't move to Las Vegas. By the way, they'll always be the Oakland Raiders who just play their games.
No, they're in Vegas now. Give it up, bro.
Shut up. So my point is this: at the end of the day, the owners have to vote. Ain't that crazy?
Yeah, I want to vote for some. Yep.
All other 31 owners have to vote on it for it to pass. Y'all don't think these owners? Let me explain something to y'all. This is a fraternity. People talk. So all these people speculating and doing this and doing that, these people, they're in collusion together. They all talk. Everybody got buddies across the league in personnel departments, coaching, the admin, the CFO, the general managers, the owners, the minority stakeholders. Everybody talks. So allegedly, you should have worked your ass out at the combine and you should have did those interviews. That's I'm gonna just keep it 100. Once again, I love him. Do I think he's an above average guy? Yes, I do. Do I think he's top 10 pick guy? Oh, will he do? Does he have the potential to develop into a playoff style quarterback, possibly with a great team around him, get to the Super Bowl? Yes, maybe. That is yet to still be seen. Everybody got to prove themselves. When I came out of high school, I had to start from the bottom again, even though I was a recruited guy and I got a scholarship. Then when I went to the NFL, I had to make the team. So it don't matter who, where, when, what, and how. It don't stop, y'all. Like the draft is all fun for right now. It's go time. So I just don't. I don't want people to lose sight of the real thing. I think
the draft. What the draft was? What 2 days ago?
Yeah, but my point is what my man Jay, I agree with what you said, but those points never have an effect on whether or not you retire a jersey. I don't give a shit how much recognition you brought back to Colorado. You didn't win no national championship. You didn't win the conference. And here's the other thing. The quarterback and head coach get too much, blame when shit go wrong, and they get too kudos when things go right. It's still a team game, fellas. This ain't basketball. One dude cannot take over the game. It's 11 on 11. It ain't 5 on 5. So at the end of the day, a quarterback could win a Super Bowl and not even be a top 15 quarterback. If I got a good running back.
Nick Foles did it, right?
Huh?
Nick Foles.
Nick Foles.
And the Ravens quarterback when they won it.
And he outperformed Brady too.
Then he outperformed Brady.
Trent Dilfer.
Trent Dilfer won
So Jam, what I'm saying is I agree with what you're saying too. I just feel like I think a lot of people are falling into the trap of being divided by a narrative that I think it's kind of old. Everybody's trying to make this a race thing. Do I think
that's ridiculous? Yeah.
But do I think that there's some driplets or droplets or elements of that? Yes. But the bottom line is, if I'm a GM and I think this guy can come in and win games for me, I don't give a shit about that other stuff.
I think this is what I would say. I think Shedeur went to the best situation, honestly.
Yeah.
He went to Cleveland. It's a team with other quarterbacks, but it's not a whole bunch of expectations. We all know Cleveland been losing for the last decade, let's say, right? They got to figure out what they're going to do with Deshaun Watson. They got Joe Flacco. They drafted, Dylan Gabriel and
Kenny Pickett and Dylan Gabriel.
And Kenny Pickett. So, honestly, let's be realistic. Ain't nobody expecting Shedeur to come in and start.
But that's good. You need to sit down and
watch. Be real with yourself. Nobody's expecting.
I'm going to keep it real with you
right now.
You need to sit out and watch anyway.
I keep it real with you. I think me and Jam kind of hit it on the head. That nigga can't afford to sit out. He got to figure out a way to beat all 4 of them quarterbacks out. Like, he got to come in with that chip on his shoulder. I don't think people understand. Like,
you think he can do that?
It ain't
But
if
that's
I
what
think
I'm
he can do
saying.
it. It's what he's gotten himself into. Again, what he did this past draft would be A-OK if Dion owned his own team. If he owned his own NFL team, everything he did this past draft would be A-OK. But he didn't do it. So
It
what
was
he
a
has
50
now
all
done, he's put this big ass Looney Tune target on his back. Literally. Now everybody from the owners, coaches, players, everybody gunning for him. So the thing about with everybody, what you just said, if Deshaun Watson comes back from his Achilles injury, and hypothetically, let's say he looks like he mastered the playbook, everything. Last time we checked, Deshaun Watson finished third in the MVP voting when he played at his best. If he could get somewhere within the ballpark, right? That's a top 10, top 15 quarterback. If he could get somewhere in the realms of what he used to be, I don't know. Just hypothetical, because it's the NFL. You got to think about this now. Kenny Pickett has also played games in the NFL. He could just say, fuck it, I'm tired of y'all playing with my name right now, and then just turn up and have a chip on his shoulder and end up being QB1. We don't know. Joe Flacco turned down to go be backup at the Ravens to go over to the Browns. So obviously he might be on his old head shit, still showing that he got a little something left in the tank, and he's won the Super Bowl. So now you going against three quarterbacks right now that all have NFL experience and all have had somewhat of NFL success. Then Dylan Gabriel played in college football and played at a bigger program with more pressure than you. So now you got to prove that you more competent than him too. And I'm pretty sure he's going into the league to prove his worth and everything right there. So yes, is it the best situation? Yes, for different reasons. Not because it's the easiest, because the other four guys in front of him have a major chip on their shoulder. And the only way you, rich boy, are going to beat them, you better put the same chip on your shoulder, because them are real down, dirty, junkyard dogs. All of them dudes on their last leg, what I'm telling y'all. Every last dude, what I tell you, from Deshaun Watson, Joe Flacco, Kenny Pickett, Dylan Gabriel. 5'9", little hands, old veteran. Masseuse destroyed his career from moving from. I'm literally the career got destroyed. So all of them dudes are on their last leg. You not finna get no dude up in there talking about something. Hey man, I'm finna go make a rap song after this. That dude not finna beat them out in no quarterback battle. That dude, what I just said right there, that type of dude is not finna beat them other four dudes. What I'm telling you out in the quarterback battle. A dude that talking about some. I'm wearing this because it's fashion and it's European. That guy right there will not beat them other four dudes
Bro,
out.
Bama,
So,
bro. That's the same thing we was talking about on the phone earlier. How everybody think it's sweet because he's going to Cleveland, but that quarterback room is low key loaded, bro. It's not. It's not
No.
like.
I'm not
See,
thinking it's sweet. I'm just saying it's the best situation because there is no expectation for him to start, is what
you
I'm
right.
saying.
You right
I
about
don't
that.
think he's going to start this year. No.
Oh, I think he'll start by the fourth or fifth game. I think
No,
they're
Nah,
gonna.
bro.
I think this is
Nah,
what can happen.
nah.
Deshaun gonna start. He's gonna play bad. Then they might throw in Flacco. And they'll be like, all right, it's time for Shedeur. Because at the end of
Nah,
the day, Joe Flacco's like 50. He's out the league next year probably. He's just a
no,
bench
no,
pad.
no, no,
Right?
no, no.
nah. Shedeur gonna
Deshaun,
get
how
the
many games?
preseason, bro. Shedeur gonna get the preseason. He gonna be the draw, and that's gonna be.
Y'all still got to understand. Me, the draft is over. The honeymoon is over, fellas. You got to go earn a roster spot. They don't care who you is, and it don't cost them no money because it was a 5th-round pick.
Oh, he coming out of the street. Yeah, he
So
gets.
what do we talk? We once again we giving that too much energy. You got like my man said, you got dogs in that room. Deshaun Watson just got damn near $300 million out of Cleveland.
Come on, man.
yeah.
But how much longer are they going to give him? How much
For real.
longer are they going to give him an opportunity?
But
anytime you invest that kind of money in somebody, you gonna give them every
they
opportunity.
gonna ride you to the
opportunity.
ground.
I
Yeah,
hear
they
you,
gonna
but
ride
only
him.
to a certain level. Though. They've already given him a couple seasons. It hasn't worked out, so they have nothing to lose.
He got
If he
hurt.
plays bad,
Nah. He is
prior to the injury, he's earned that though. Prior to the, you don't lose your
he
job.
was never really good at Cleveland, though. He's been
No, listen what I'm saying. Okay, let me ask the question. Why did he get all that money from Cleveland?
He got all that money because when he was in Houston,
Okay,
he had a run where he was him.
It's just no disrespect, but I'm just saying. Why did he get all that? I just need you to say one word.
Yeah.
Well, his performance, right?
Mm-hmm.
Based on your performance is where they project you, or if you already in the league, when you come up for another contract, they gonna give you the bag. So let's now watch. Follow me now. We going back to college. Based on your performance, we gonna draft you in a certain spot based on what you done the last 2, 3, 4, 5 years. Yes or no?
Yes.
So once again, we still having a conversation about a guy that got drafted in the 5th round. We ain't even talking about the other gazillion, the other 252 guys that just lived out a childhood dream. That's my point in all of this. I love the Sanders family. I rock with Dion. I want the best for them boys. But why are they getting all this attention?
Right here, yeah, because like I said, the personality, the circus, the.
Hey Dante.
Hey, where's Shiloh go?
I wanted to get your.
Hey, he out here in Tampa Bay.
On this.
He got
signed here in Tampa Bay.
So he went to Tampa Bay. They drafted him, or they?
He signed as an undrafted free agent.
Hey, do we also think this draft class?
Before we, DB Guru. Now I want you to be really honest. My opinion on Bama said Shiloh is a top 5 safety. Bama's high on.
That's wild.
Yeah, Bama's high on crack. He said that. I have the receipt, Bam. You said he was top 5.
No, add context. Top 5 at what? Top 5 at what, Carl? Add context. Add context. Add context. Top 5 safety where? Where? Top 5 safety.
He's not top 5 anything. So anyway.
Okay, no. Don't answer my fucking question. Where did I say he was top 5 safety, Carl?
I don't know. Anyway, Bam.
No. You're going to know. No. Where did I say he was a top 5 safety, Carl?
In the box.
You're finna answer my fucking question. Where did I say he was top 5 safety?
In the box.
In the box.
Okay. So I said in this draft, he was top 5 safety. In this draft. I was like, finally 5 other safeties better than him. Because pretty much what he does, like you said, Dante, he's 6'1". So that's decent NFL size for a safety. Man, I got that man at 6'1". So he got decent size.
11, Carl.
He's not 5'11".
He's not 5'11".
Yeah. Both
they measured him.
That man 28, man.
No, I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying for us with his age, but what I'm saying is he got decent size and he can hit. The NFL done showed with those type of DBs, Buda Baker, Jamal Adams, if he can show that he can hit them NFL guys, he's going to have a good career. He's going to have a real good career. So I'm saying for us in college, the guys that was drafted, because let's just keep it real. The hot positions this year was O-line, D-line, and cornerback. That's where you got all your value in this year's draft. We're going to keep it honest. Safety, quarterback, you can hit or miss.
So how the hell does Kobe Bryant don't get drafted as possible?
Yeah, that is crazy. Him not getting drafted.
I think he was probably one of the best coming out of the draft.
And Will Johnson dropping to the 5th rank.
This is like the worst quarterback class in like a decade, though.
Not really. They just
quarterback. Quarterback. I said quarterback.
Yeah, quarterback. Oh yeah.
This is the worst quarterback.
Yeah. Because Cam Ward.
I think I know why. I got a real quick one. The reason why I think quarterback play has leveled off is this. Y'all follow me. You got a bunch of JV dudes that never reached their zenith, now coaching Pop Warner, now coaching 7-on-7, now are handlers. They get the best athlete on the field, they throw him at quarterback, they put him in the shotgun. If the slant ain't there or the backside post ain't there, take off and run. They're not developing these young men. I think you're still supposed to go under center and at least take some snaps under center for short yardage reasons. That's just my personal opinion. I'm telling my age because I played when football was football. The bottom line is this. Even look at the DB play. It's just a lot of dudes are trying to get away with athletics. There's no technique anymore. And I think the reason why you get these college coaches they're making $400,000-$500,000 a year. They don't got time at the bigger schools. It's plug and play. So that's why these stars became such a big deal now, because they think if I get a 4-star, 5-star, as long as he know the defense, he could play. You still player development is a lost art at every position.
Yeah.
I bullshit you not, and I think that's why you just what you said, Jalen, is the fact that the quarterback this shit is not good, and I didn't even think this was a deep class, and we needed with the Raiders we need. So I'm saying the lack of player development is the reason why these positions aren't flourishing or looking like they're flourishing as they once were, right? Because I remember back when I was a kid in the 80s, you got Dan Marino, you had Joe Montana, you had John Elway, you had Boomer Esiason. Every team, Bernie Kosar was a guy with the brand. You had all these dudes, Jim Kelly with the Bills. Every team had a guy. Then once we got to the 90s, it went a little bit lower. You had the end of an era with like Joe Montana, Jim Kelly, those guys, right? Then you got Steve Young and all those guys. Then it dwindled down. Then we ran through I know the Niners ran through like Elvis Gerbacks and guys like that, right? Then when you get to the 2000s, you got Peyton Manning, Tom Brady, Drew Brees. Vic came in the league and was like amazing.
Phillip Rivers was really good. Thousands.
Yeah. Phillip Rivers was nice.
Yeah.
So
nice.
You see how all those names. 5.
Yep.
Now, when you think about the quarterbacks, who do you think about? You think about Mahomes and Lamar Jackson.
Joe Burrow. Shout out Joe Burrow when he's healthy.
But do I think I think the kid in Green Bay is good.
Jordan Love, yeah. Jordan Love, he's nice too.
He's all on help. I also think that
Houston, Houston.
Jaden Daniels. I think he's good. Yeah. But my point is, we can't run off 10 names.
Yeah, it's a little harder. It's a little harder for sure.
So I agree with you. I don't think this draft was a quarterback strong draft, and that's why I think Shedeur slide. A lot of remember I said multiple things could be true at once. I think there were so many variables as to why he went in the 5th round.
I hear you. Yeah, shout out Josh Allen too. Great quarterback. Get him. Yeah, he doing his thing.
Mahomes, Lamar, Josh Allen, Burrow, Jaden Daniels,
Jordan Love.
Respect CJ Stroud.
CJ Stroud. Fuck no. CJ Stroud.
Do you see how when you got to 7, you had to keep going?
Yeah, I'm trying to make
after a little bit. It's just
Matt Stafford.
He's low. Stafford's a little generation before those guys though. He's older now. He's
you think okay?
Yeah,
yeah, that's it. 8.
I hear you.
Yeah, 8.
But you get my point though, right?
Yeah.
You got to 5, 6, and you had to start. So I think the game, and I'll say this as an older guy who played.
Oh, Jalen Hurts.
Oh yeah, my bad. Jalen Hurts. That guy. Got to keep him in there.
There's good quarterbacks, and then there's the elite quarterback group.
That's true.
You don't think Jalen Hurts elite?
He's not elite in the Peyton Brady Breeze category. I wouldn't.
Time out.
If you go in elite, some of them guys that you even got on the list is not in that category.
Right.
If you go in elite, we talking about maybe 3.
Maybe. Elite is Mahomes, Lamar, Allen, Burrow.
Whoa. Why is Allen?
Why you got Allen so high?
Allen, nice. I'm not mad at that.
6'6", 250 pounds.
That mean nothing.
You got to put some respect.
He's a couple throws away from.
Yeah, y'all gotta put respect. I don't know. I don't fuck with white boys like that. That white boy right there.
Josh Allen was carrying his team. He was carrying his team.
I'm a Dolphins fan.
Yeah, that's what I said. It's coming from 2 Dolphins fans, bro.
I gotta get on respect.
Listen. We not saying Josh Allen don't have the potential to be one of the top 3, but come on, man. Like,
no.
Y'all right now, he's a top 3 elite.
No,
it's top 4. He wanted it to 4. He wanted
Joe Burrow.
Wherever you want to put him,
you put him 3 or 4. He's 3 or 4.
Yeah, wherever you want to put him. You got Mahomes, Lamar, Burrow, Allen. Wherever you want to put him.
Those 4 are for sure the top 4.
For me, as the top quarterbacks in the league right now, Elite.
Top. It's only
I
3.
like Jordan Love.
You like Jordan Love more than I get it. Like he's nice.
More
I
than
don't
Josh
really-
Allen?
Is a
yeah,
dog.
more than Josh Allen though. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He's good.
See,
I
that's
take
just
Jordan Love
we have to
over
swap
Josh
on
Allen.
that one. You gonna have
Jordan
Love
Love,
on my. I'm gonna keep
Jordan
Josh.
Love is up next.
But I think CJ Stroud's better than Jordan Love. I think CJ Stroud.
No, he's not. Jordan
I'm
Love
with
is
Jalen.
Yeah.
I'm with
Yeah.
Jalen. I think
Stroud.
CJ Stroud and Jaden McDaniels both better than Jordan Love.
Hell no. Just give it some time.
That wasn't the argument. Somebody said, "What?
Elite,
Wait, Jalen Hurts? Is that what you said?"
Yeah, I said that the top quarterbacks in the league, Jalen Hurts, he in that list too.
If you take,
But y'all said elite. Y'all said elite.
if
So
you
if you
take
saying
Saquon-
elite, it's only 4 elite quarterbacks.
take Saquon Barkley off the Philadelphia Eagles, do they win the Super Bowl this year?
No.
Yeah,
Man, you
yeah.
can't do that. You can't do that, man.
Yeah.
You can't do that because
What?
you can't blame him for being on a good team.
Yeah, but they don't win the Super Bowl though.
That
Can
ain't
I-
his fault.
I don't really count Super Bowls. To be a
Because you're
quarterback,
relying
Super
on
Bowl
Jalen,
wins.
because you're
It's a
relying on
because
Jalen
of team
Hurts
game,
to
team
throw the
game.
ball to win you the game.
So let me
Maybe.
rephrase that question.
The game have to have a run game. It's not
I
just all
know, but
passing.
you're relying. Jalen Hurts ain't.
But what about
It'd
the
be
last
7
Super
on 7
Bowl?
if you
What
was
about
relying on
what
Jalen
about
Hurts
the
to throw the
last
ball
Super
to
Bowl?
win.
They threw for 350 yards and 3 touchdowns and still lost to Mahomes, who only threw for 181 yards.
Bama,
That's one
if the
game,
name,
Darius.
bro.
But that's
if
the
name of
Super
the
Bowl. What are
game-
you talking about? It's the game.
That's just one game, brother.
You can't
That's the
move his
biggest
field
game.
goal post.
And I'm not knocking you, bro. You're right, but that's one game. But I'm not relying on Jalen Hurts to win me a
Bro.
whole playoff, a whole postseason off
Bro,
his quarterback.
Listen to what you saying, bro.
No.
If the name of the game was the quarterback has to throw the ball to win me the Super Bowl, it'll be 7 on 7. You
No,
gotta
you're
have a good
You're not
run game.
that.
You can't
But
knock
with
him for
Saquon?
having a run game.
But with Saquon, brother, the
That
best
is,
NFL.
it don't matter a running back.
With the day, like you can't knock him for that.
I'm not knocking him, but I'm just saying that takes so
Blame
much.
the Giants.
No,
Blame
can
the Giants.
I'm not knocking him, Jam, but I'm just saying that takes a lot of stress off the quarterback.
And I my question. Let me reframe the question so y'all can understand what I'm saying. I'm not saying Jalen Hurts not good. What I'm asking you is this. I'm gonna reframe the question. You got 2 minutes or 1 minute and 50 seconds to go on a 90-play drive. Is Jalen Hurts in your top 7 QBs that you think could march down that field and win a game?
I think so.
Like a Joe Montana, like a Steve Young, like a John Elway, like a Dan Marino, like a Peyton Manning, like a Tom Brady, like a Drew Brees. I don't think so.
He did
Hey,
this
don't
past
say
season.
just like you name all them quarterbacks. Do you give them they same offense just like he would have Saquon back there to go 90 yards?
Hold on. I could swap those type of guys and put them on any other team and they're gonna do numbers.
So you couldn't put Jalen Hurts and John Elway offense, and you don't think he could go for 90 yards for a touchdown?
I don't think he would have the same impact. I think you could put Elway on any team and he gonna do what he gonna do.
Okay, so but I'm saying that to say, no matter what you say, they had a team. So you giving them quarterbacks with their teams. I will take Jalen Hurts and Saquon Barkley in the Philadelphia Eagles offense that they just had. I'll take them for that.
But that's not how you know what I'm saying. I get what you're saying, but what I'm saying is just the quarterback himself. I could take John Elway in his prime and put him in San Francisco, Pittsburgh, Oakland,
Yeah, I get you.
Tampa Bay, and he's gonna win.
Yeah, I get you.
You don't need
I think Jalen Hurts might win too.
no.
Jalen
Like,
Hurts-
are y'all hold on, time out. Let me ask this question. Are you saying he's supposed to put up like 4,000 yards,
That's not what
5,000 yards, or is he just winning the game?
I think y'all missing what I'm saying. What I'm saying is when it comes to here's what I'm saying. When it comes to that quarterback play, there's good quarterbacks, there's average quarterbacks, there's above average quarterbacks, and then there's those elite level quarterbacks. Just like Asante Samuel is more than well deserving to be in the Hall of Fame. He was a dog and he made hella plays. Why does it matter? If you're just not at Darryl Green, Reeves, Deion, Rod, Charles, and Champs and Mel Blunt's table, but you're still in the Hall of Fame.
Mm-hmm.
You get what I'm saying? That's all I'm saying. And you can't say you got to be super elite to win a Super Bowl because there's multiple quarterbacks that weren't super elite that have won Super Bowls. And there's
Nick Foles won the Super Bowl.
There's super elite QBs who's in the Hall of Fame that never even won a Super Bowl. Dan
Jim
Marino,
Kelly, super elite.
Jim
never won a
Kelly,
Super Bowl.
Dan Marino, super elite. Now, you want to talk about got the total package, but just ain't that mobile. Dan Marino might be top dog.
Nice.
Agreed.
Dan Marino has an interesting case to being the best of all time relative to his era, how good he was compared to everybody else. And if you really consider, like I said, how winning is a team game and how football is 50 guys on a team, 11 on each side with so many guys coming in and out, a quarterback.
Yeah, Warren Moon.
Yeah, there's some guys you can make a case as being, the best of all time. And then Dan Marino has an interesting one for sure. So Dan Marino's better than every quarterback in this league except for Mahomes. He's better than every quarterback in this league.
That 3/4 throwing motion, that's still hard to be replicated to this day.
It's tough.
And I think had Vic come into the situation that he got in Philadelphia after, to sit behind McNabb, Andy Reid, and he had that situation coming out of Tech, he will be a Hall of Famer.
I think with Vic though, him being in prison, and I hate to even say this, it helped him because he lost his athletic ability. So him losing his athletic ability, he had to rely more so on the in-between. Because he was throwing the ball. Because when he came out, that 2010 was his best year by far ever throwing the ball. He almost passed like 4,000 yards, 35 touchdowns.
His athletic ability, he learned how to play the position, dog.
Yeah.
He could still run.
But he was bigger though. He was more out of shape. He had that little belly.
He ran 4.3 as a quarterback. So
yeah,
he wasn't out of shape to run. The fact of the matter was he had an offensive guru. And he also got to sit behind another almost similar style player like himself in older Donovan McNabb. So I got a chance to actually remember Dan Reeves brought him as number 1 overall pick to Hot Atlanta, dog. He didn't have to sit body really for real and learn the game. He was too electrifying. Right. He was too electrifying. So my point is, all the stuff we talk about goes back to the Shedeur thing too, right? Players at that position should. Okay, I'll give you another prime example. Would Aaron Rodgers be who he is if he didn't get drafted to Green Bay and got to kind of sit there behind Brett Favre for a little minute?
I think he'd eventually become him, but maybe it would have been a different path.
No,
you know what I mean? Like he would have became him, but it would have been a different pathway.
It makes a big difference, bro. Because like Dante said, bro.
It make a difference when you don't have.
I ain't gonna lie. Look at that first year. They let Aaron Rodgers play his initial rookie. He didn't play a lot. I think it was like one game he came in, right? The way he threw the ball was night and day different from when he took over as the starter for Green Bay. Like literally, when he had like he had the fresh, you know what I mean? The little, you know what I mean? Like the backyard, how I taught my son how to throw, wipe the window, throw it like that. And then when he actually took center, he had that shit like he was just flicking darts. I was like, what the fuck? Like, who was you just with? Like,
do we forget
just change your throwing motion?
Do we forget who was doing all that shit? That was the starter for hell of years.
Brett Favre.
Yeah, Brett Favre real. Brett Favre was a slinger.
Listen. Prime example.
And then Jordan Love got the same throwing motion too. I don't know if it's a quarterback's coach or somebody they go train with.
It's 6 o'clock.
It's weird how all of it, like, you know what I mean? Like they throwing motion, get that same. It's quick. It's like they flicking the dart, bro. It's pretty nice to watch.
Nah, remember, bro. The
quarterback. When you are my bad, dog. When you come into at the quarterback position, it's not like at other positions, y'all. When you come in at the quarterback position, when you get an opportunity that you don't have to go in and be the savior. Historically, let's look at the draft. The guys that got to come in right now and be the guy, it don't work out all the time. 90% of the time, it don't really work out. But when you get an opportunity to go in under an older established veteran and kind of learn a little bit for a year or two, dude, once you finally take the helm, you really look phenomenal. And we could look at one of my alumni. I was the first recruiting class with his older brother who went first overall, Derek Carr. I got recruited to Fresno with David Carr. We was Pat Hill's first recruiting class. Derek Carr was a good quarterback. A lot of people that's dumbass fans think, oh man, no. Did y'all forget 2016? when he had Amari Cooper and Crabtree, and they was talking about MVP, and my Raiders went 12-4 and went to the playoffs, but he broke his leg or his ankle, and he wasn't the same after that. People forget he threw for 4,000 yards multiple times. That's nothing. He's never had a defense ranked higher than 20-something, and he always had a different offensive coordinator every year, and he was still able to put up Pro Bowl numbers. So, like I said, I think quarterbacks get too much blame and too much credit, just like the coach.
100%.
But when Derek got there, he didn't have to right day one be the guy. Come in and kind of he was a second round pick. He kind of can come in and learn a little bit. And he had some success with that, is what I'm saying. So I think these quarterbacks that we're talking about, when you have to bank like you're betting the house on this guy at this position to save your franchise day one, you asking for trouble.
You know what it is, because Mahomes and even CJ Stroud, guys like that, come in right away and we're good right away. Mahomes right away, rookie year. I mean, basically 1 year after, they're coming in good so quick that the whole idea of developing a quarterback is gone. Back in the day, like you said, 90s.
Why are they quick? They got tools. These teams got
100%. It's just like I said, it's the patience. The patience isn't there. It's almost like every team is. If you get the number 1 overall pick, that quarterback you picked first overall, he better come in first year, throw for 3,500, 30 touchdowns. If he does it, that bus talk right away. You know what I mean? While I said before, you can come in, sit a year, maybe 2, and they'll let you develop, let you make your mistakes and learn from it. While now they want you to, they want you to make the playoffs the second year, win a Super Bowl by your 3rd or 4th year. You need to win a Super Bowl in your rookie contract, essentially. Yeah, I hear you. It's crazy.
Caleb in trouble in Chicago.
Right? 100%. But, you know, Caleb should be all right. Caleb, I think, will be all right. He'll be all right.
I don't know, man. I don't think the Windy City, that's a blue-collar lunch pill. That's kind of like Pittsburgh.
It is.
No nails and being the quarterback ain't probably, I don't know.
I hear you. He a little bougie, too. And he talked a little crazy, too. I want ownership of the team. I want a percentage. I was a little crazy, too. But he could back it up. I wonder how, the narrative will change on him. But we'll see. And that's the thing people forget that there's only so many quarterback jobs in the league. Like every draft, there's how many quarterbacks get drafted? How many quarterbacks get drafted every single year? You know what I mean? And then leave the league in 1 or 2 years. Because every year there's how many 10, 20 new quarterbacks come to the league every year?
Yeah, but
it's crazy.
But this past year, it was only 21 available.
21 available.
Like they said, whereas it could be a QB battle. So it was only 21 teams this year where you actually could be in a battle for going to play quarterback.
Yeah. It's tough.
Carl, any closing remarks, man? This was a good show coming up on 2 hours. I ain't gonna hold y'all too long, man. It was great. Any closing remarks, y'all?
Cowboy hat off.
That shit is weak. That shit weak.
I just want to say, Bama used to be a former Cowboys fan.
I don't know what you're talking about. Man, your breath stink.
Dante Marsh. When the last time the Raiders won a playoff game? All right, cool. So I'm gonna just go ahead and end the show off with
the last time y'all relevant. Y'all the America's
anyway, I'm about to just end the show off with we all learned our lesson. If you're 40 and up, leave the young girls alone for the young men out there. Y'all the reason why the crime rate is high. Y'all the reason why a young man can't take a girl to IHOP. And the first thing the young lady asks, I like to go shopping. As soon as they start a conversation. So please.
That might also be the ladies that you try to talk to, though. There's plenty of girls you can go pick up ice cream for 20 or literally $10 and go for a walk, and you're still good. I promise you. I know girls. Here, Carl, I'll straight up tell you. I know girls who I will literally just take out for ice cream, might spend $10 to $20, right? And we still doing our thing later at night. But and guess what? The weekend, they might be fine. I literally see her flying out in a private jet.
No.
That's cool. You can still get that girl.
I'm not disputing that. I'm not disputing that. My personal preference is IHOP. But
hey, shout out IHOP.
You got old heads, not like Dante March, but in his age range, messing up the market.
How?
Daddy dollars. Okay.
Yes. Carl. So let me interject real quick. You know everything you're saying, you know what that says to me? Because remember, I was once your age, right? So earlier in the show, we talked about these old cats pulling up to the high schools, right?
Yeah.
You started with y'all, that shit been going on forever. Since I was in high school. But you want to know something that I'm noticing about y'all? Y'all generation got a lot of excuses. That just means you need to up your mouthpiece game, boy.
No.
Talking.
I don't. Yeah. Hey, this ain't my problem.
You Gen Zers lacking on y'all pimping.
Like I said, Mark, I'm pushing 30. This ain't got nothing to do with me.
So why-
I'm 25 and under.
Why are you so adamant and so pro? Keep saying this shit
Because you old niggas is tricks. That's why. I was like, damn it.
Time out. Let me explain something to you, young man. I'm from Oakland, California.
Oh yeah,
Right.
that's the pimping and macking and the slacking, the Cadillacing.
Never been a trick. I ain't never been a simp. I know how to communicate, brother. Remember, I have a cell phone. We had to go get numbers and write them down, boy. So your frustrations with the dating market, you might want to take that up with your lack of confidence or your insecurities. I'm not saying you, but your generation. My generation, we called it long range pimping. We used to bus to the mall and hang out at the mall and see how many numbers we could get. I don't know if y'all do that no more.
I did the
Mark,
100.
we do be hanging out in the
for real.
mall asking for numbers. Like I said,
We talking about as a young person.
He's talking about jogging. Now he's facts. If all young dudes out there watching, go with your friends, maybe on a Saturday or Sunday, and do the 100 approach challenge. We used to do back in the day. You approach 100 girls that day. You might only get 20 numbers, 25 numbers, 25% hit rate. That's cool. I promise you, it's cool. The worst thing a girl can say to you is I have a boyfriend. No, thank you. That's cool. You keep it moving. The worst thing she can say to you is I have a boyfriend or I'm not.
Now I do agree with that. Get off the internet. The internet is all rage bait. It ruins your perception of the real dating world. Like what Jalen said, I went on a beach date, bro. Like I mean, man. No money spent. Just meet up. I mean, I had to put gas in my car if you want to say, oh my God, you spent money.
It's about the quality time.
But yeah, that's what it was. We had good talk. You know what I mean? I felt like we got to know each other. You know what I mean? You couldn't hide behind a dinner.
Right.
Couldn't hide behind a lot of shit.
Now, damn, you can take her to IHOP.
100%. But most girls are cool with you having a regular job. You making 60, 70, 80K a year, have your shit together. They're cool with that. It's only on YouTube and like Instagram clips where they'll interview like girls in Miami. It's like, oh, he has to have a lamb. No, I promise you, there are beautiful women who will have careers in nursing, accounting, who may be a lawyer, whatever, who will go out with you if you just have your shit together. You don't got to make tons of money. Be charming and be funny. Be charming, funny, and interesting. You're good. I'm telling you.
Carl. Maybe it's the girls you picking, Carl.
No. Pay for it.
Watch this. I agree 1,000% with what he just said, but I'm gonna tell you something. Watch this. If she like you, it don't matter. She like you.
Exactly.
I've been said.
It don't matter about none of that shit. Because
she like you.
Tell you and Carl, me and you to have a lot of conversations, and you already know I love you, right? So I'm gonna tell you some real shit. If you got your shit together and you are on your OG told me, listen, because you said y'all when you said
come on, man, you know I'm clowning, Martin.
I know.
He clowning right now. Clown OG.
Yeah.
He clown OG. OG clowning right now.
You should stop talking, Reed. I think you should shut up. Yeah, please. Go ahead, Mark.
So what I'm saying is this.
Yeah, it got quiet.
OG told me, you lose money chasing chicks. You don't lose chicks chasing money. So at the end of the day, if you consider yourself a high value man and shit together, the women gonna come. But at the end of the day, if she like you, that it don't matter if you drive a bus. She gonna fuck with you because she like you. So all this old heads and all that. No. You gotta be charming. You gotta be funny. You gotta appeal to her, right? Y'all getting this skewed view of women and men because y'all getting it from social media. That's not reality. Because I'm gonna be honest with you. A lot of these chicks talking about I need a man with 6 figures. Where? You're not even top tier.
Hey, social media got losers thinking they're cool, whether that's guys or chicks. That's 100%. Social media got some of these girls and guys thinking there's something else that they're not. It's funniest thing to see.
Hey, look, I just want to throw this out there, chat. Bruh, Marsh isn't actually talking to me. He's talking to the young people. Marsh already know my opinion. I'm taking niggas' wives. So anyway, look. Look, I don't have that problem. But please take the game from the OG man right up there, Dante. I don't have that problem. So y'all, I just wanted to throw that out there. Yeah. Just
but you said old heads was tricky. Try to throw me in there, man. That's crazy.
They your age.
Dante retired from the game, man. Dante retired from the game. He happy with a family and all that. That's what it is.
I'm gonna let you YNs have it, Carl.
I'm not a YN, bro.
Yeah,
I'm
you
pushing
are.
30. You can't be a YN when you pushing 30, Mark.
No,
you're still under 30, so you there. You're still under 30.
There's some 50-year-old YNs.
Okay.
That's
Sharp is the
that's
50-year-old
very
guy.
true.
Yeah.
That is very true.
If you 50 plus and you still gang
See,
banging,
Carl, shame
talking
on
about
you. That's not something to brag about,
You probably took a
Carl.
wrong turn of life somewhere. Yeah, if you're 50.
I'm not bragging. I'm just speaking the
You
truth.
home
I'm not
wrecking.
bragging.
Shame
But
on you.
also though, if you're
It ain't home wrecking when she
if
don't.
you're if you're worth like $200 million, 50, I can't relate to that, right? I can't relate to having $200 million and living that life. So maybe that's just the thing when you have that money at that age. But I hear you. For the most part, if you're 50-year-olds and still gangbanging, you took a wrong turn of life somewhere.
hey,
What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do?
I scored 5 touchdowns at Polk High.
Yeah, no, back in my day.
Back in
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
No, I think this is a good platform. In all seriousness, we could tackle more than just sports issues. We could talk about the whole gambit of issues. I think it's dope. I think it gives different perspectives to the listeners. And you just gonna get real opinions and real thought-provoking, ideas and things and perspectives. We all have different perspectives. There's no ultimately one right answer or wrong answer. I think having a space like this to speak in, it's thought-provoking. It makes people, because people are like sheep a lot of the times. I'm a free thinker. I think outside the box. So I don't take one side and don't look at the other side. There's always, like I said earlier, and that's my new thing for 2025. Multiple things can be true at the same time.
100%. And when there's two sides to an issue, you can agree with some parts and you can agree with some parts of the other side, and you kind of come to a conclusion. I always say about politics too. You can agree with him and you can agree with him too. Right?
Hey,
40% from him.
I have learned from an OG a long time ago. Hey, man, all men aren't supposed to agree all the time. It is okay for men to have different opinions on things. But another thing too, Marsh, I'm gonna go ahead and put some pressure on you while we still alive, man.
What?
Listen, you're an Oakland legend.
No,
You are. You're an Oakland legend. But I ain't gonna say no names, but I kind of want that. We kind of want that other Oakland legend up in here one day. But we'll talk about that later. You know what I'm saying? The one with the
I do want to say this though. I do want to say this, and I want Check to know this too, man. Shouts out to Oakland, man. I was working in higher education this past semester, man. It was Friday, February 8th, I believe. Mr. Fab and the city of Oakland, man, threw a Black College Expo for Black students from high school to junior college, man, where they gave away over $1 million to the Black babies, man. They had them go to college, man. I really mess with that, man, because some of my students, one girl, she got 5 full rides on the spot right there, intelligent little girl, man. And it was just a beautiful thing where the old heads, Carl, were the ones that put it together and allowed us to bring our Black YNs there to give them an opportunity to be able to feed their families down the road, man. So I just want to say that, man, put that out there on the air, man. It really shouts out to Oakland, man. They walking the walk. They're not just talking the talk. They walking the walk for these Black babies, man. A lot of history out there.
I don't have a problem with old heads.
Want to get Stanley on here?
What?
No, that's my homeboy for 20 plus. I get.
Oh, wow.
Man, get Stanley on here.
I get Stanley on here.
Get Stanley on here one time. Stanley! Get Stanley on here one time, man. For real. You know what I'm saying? Beast Mode, Patrick Peters.
I get Fab. Get on here. I get Fab on here.
That's what's up, man. I would love to, man. Man. Like, shouts out. Honestly, though, I'm thankful we had got you, OG. You know what I'm saying? Because Carl, Carl, you really have to love Carl. You know what I'm saying? So it was hit or miss. You know what I mean? I didn't know how much he annoyed you, what he told the show was. And you didn't know.
First of all, I don't treat Marsh like I treat you. That's crazy. That's two different. That's two different. Marsh, I ain't gonna lie. Marsh,
I don't know how to feel about that.
I have to say this. But Marsh is like a father figure because I ain't grew up with no daddy. So I'll always blow like he's literally like a father figure to me. You know what I'm saying? Because I tell niggas all the time, if I was Marsh's biological son, I wouldn't be on this show. I'll be playing right now, getting ready for camp. We're not going to talk about that. But that's a two different relationship. That's a way different relationship.
Carl.
Bro, Marsh is literally like a father figure, bro.
He is a father figure, but I keep you safe. I keep you warm. You know what I'm saying? I
It's
keep you
different.
right here.
So listen, let me
Keep
give
you
a
right here, Carl.
So listen, no. This is Carl being serious, and this is for young men out there that's listening, bro. You have to be careful how you treat people, and especially the elders that really show.
I don't like the word you just used. This
I'm sorry,
elder.
Elder?
OGs. I'm sorry, the OGs.
Elder is crazy.
Elders
Young,
is
listen, don't listen. This is a message. So, young men, y'all have to be respectful to the OGs because you don't know what they can do for you. I remember when I was getting ready to go to school and I had zero money, I had no dollars, and I wanted to train and I wanted to get better. And I forgot who one of my boys had said, "Hey, bro, you should go train with Mark." So I went and trained with Mark. It was the hardest workout of my life. I never want to do that crap again. But he was training me for years and years, especially while I was at Shasta. He never charged me a dime. And then even the crazy part, and this is a testimony to you young men out there listening, bro, you have to don't burn your bridges. I remember when after I finished school and I wanted to do a pro day, and but in order for you to get a pro day, you have to get a professional recruit to co-sign for you. Marsh, all he did was pick up a phone call the next day. I was able to do my pro day. And we're going to talk about that a little bit more. You know they rigged me on that too, Marsh, but we'll talk about that later on in the show. They rigged the hell out of me on that. But anyway, the moral of the story is you have to be careful how you treat people because you never know what people can do for you. If you young men out there watching, that is a message. Please be mindful of the people that really care about you because you never know. You can block your blessings with arrogance and being stupid.
It's true.
I appreciate that.
Throw that out there. He has never charged me a dime to train me at all because he knew I wanted to play. He's never charged me a dime. So I have to, I owe you a steak at BJ. Nah, we can do better than BJ. That's why I take the side chicks, nigga. Where you want to go? Whatever. I can't do BJ.
Hey, so real talk. You trying to make me feel some type of way, but I appreciate that. But
it's the truth.
In all seriousness, I know we get on here and we shoot the shit and we're being blunt and honest and all that stuff. But people who know me know, like, I want to see everybody I come in contact win. I was blessed and fortunate to quote unquote make it out of Oakland. To get, a bachelor's degree, a master's degree. If you would have told me 25, 30 years ago, this is what I'd be doing right now, I'd have been like, man, shit, you tripping, right? So I'm thankful for God allowing me to live out some of my childhood dreams, to give me a platform to be able to walk in purpose, right? I'm the youngest 46-year-old you ever gonna come across, thanks to all the young men the lives that I'm a part of. And I love what I do every day. And I'm so thankful and I'm so appreciative that I'm in this position that I'm in. So I just wanna piggyback on what you said. And my biggest thing to young people is go get you a mentor.
Please. Especially if you don't have a father, bro. Go. That's what saved me. I didn't have a father, and like I said, I looked at other men as father figures, especially coming from Maryland, moving to California and Juba, because Bama know how it is out there in Shasta. There's a lot of not knocking white people, but it's a different type of trauma that white men don't understand what black boys go through. So it's a different relationship. So especially if you're a young black boy, please, the OGs are out there. Y'all just have to be willing to just listen. That's all it is. They're out there. They know what's coming. They're not hating on you. They know what you're going to face in all aspects, whether it's entrepreneurship, the sports world, whatever it is you're trying to do. They know what's ahead. So please, young kids of color, please go get a mentor, especially if you do not have a daddy.
Hey, that's the next show right there.
Hey, Dante, the only thing I would change is, man, you should have played for the Argos. You went to BC. I'm an Argos guy. I'm in Toronto. We could have used those 2 championships. But Shannon, I know you won a couple for BC over there, so it's cool, man. Let's slide.
Not the Argos.
Oh, you know what? Of course.
So I lost my I went to 3 Grey Cups. My first year up there, we played against Damon Allen, Marcus Allen's younger brother. That's my OG. Yep. Yeah. Shout out to DA. That's my OG. He was 40-some years old and beat us, man. He was phenomenal. They don't age. The Allen family does not age.
Damon Allen was cooking, and you probably played Calvillo too. Anthony Calvillo against Belt. Yeah, he was one of them ones too.
I never picked off Damon, but I got Calvillo a few times.
Oh, okay, solid. Who was your QB when you guys won?
Dave Dickinson, Casey Printers.
Oh, Casey had a couple year run where he was insane. It was short, but he was
Yeah.
insane, and Dave was consistent.
Dave was the man, and then my second one in 2011 was Travis Lula.
Ooh, that one with Travis too. That was near your end then, right? 2011.
Yep.
Gotcha. Okay, makes sense.
Legendary, man. Legendary
Yeah.
CFL DB right here, bro. Like, man, this is good, man. Thank you, Carl. You ugly as hell. Thank you, man. You know what I'm saying? And I was a good big brother to you, pussy. So I ain't trying to hear that. You know what I mean? Yeah,
Again,
you don't want to give me the daddy title because I'm 3 years older. But I was
hey, so what
I
you
was
and
good
Marsh
to
do
you.
have in common though? Y'all both some bald headed niggas.
Shut up, Marsh.
That's one
Marsh.
thing.
We both treat him right.
Hey,
100%.
Carl,
Both bald headed.
Carl, I didn't go bald. I chose it. I can grow all my hair back. I had dreads too. I had every
But you're currently bald.
because my wife loved it. All the ladies like it. I'm black
I mean,
culture.
good.
Yeah,
The wife love it. It's easy to maintain. You don't gotta wake up and do all this. You're good to go.
I ain't no lack of being bald, bro. There's a lot of great people that are bald.
But you said it like it was a jab.
Oh, like it was just like, you know what I mean?
Like
Like my brain just showing or something. like
I mean,
take
but
my hat
Mark
off.
did
It's
take
just
Mark
brain.
did take his hat off. You didn't take yours off.
Well, I got a headset. I'm good.
No.
You know what I'm saying?
Oh, okay.
I'll show y'all next week. You know what I'm saying? How about that? That'll be something the two did next week. You know what I
Bama
mean?
takes off his hat. Right.
Yeah, man.
Oh, I'm be in Vegas next week, y'all. So if you see anything in the background, mind your business. I'm gonna keep that at that.
Hey, we
Did
had
you?
a whole session on Shannon Sharp, and here you go.
Here
Let's
you
go
go.
to Vegas.
That boy don't learn his lesson, dude.
Nope.
He don't care.
Oh, I'm gonna go get me some milk.
Whoa.
Okay.
Hey,
Okay.
whatever you gotta do.
Whatever you got to do.
You like
All
it?
right.
You like it?
See y'all next week, man. OG, thank you
All
for pulling up. Everybody, thank y'all for pulling up
Yeah.
for real, man. We'll probably be back around same time this week. If you want to pull up with us, OG, bro, we'll start going at this time, bro, because we always love your company, man.
Man, I love y'all, man. And hey, you got to have my man on again. He gives good perspective. I like you know what? He sound like one of those guys that's already ready, like stat man.
Jalen. Jalen been holding
appreciate
his
it.
own. Yeah, me and
Appreciate
Jalen been knowing each other. What going on a year and a half?
Yeah,
now
year and a
from,
half
from
now.
DC,
Yeah, basketball.
Jalen been holding his own for a minute in this podcast world. That's why I always knew because, and of course, Jalen, it was somebody that was a different perspective. You from Canada, but I've always liked your takes, and you never back down, bro. That's one thing I will fuck with you about, especially with shows like this. I don't want tap dancers, bro. I want somebody that's gonna say what they're gonna say and mean what they're gonna say. Because, like I said, we all up here, even Dante Marsh, dude. Like we already said it, bro. We just realists. We blunt about everything. What's right is right, and I love what Dante always say. Two things can be right at the same time. So you know what I mean? It's never always just one way. So Jalen, that's why I always had respect for you. I know everything went on or whatever, but bro, you know how it is. It's more politics than anything. But real life, it is what it is, bro.
Yeah, appreciate that. Yeah, hey, great show. We back again. Dante again.
Yeah.
Wisdom. He's full of wisdom. You can see right there whether it's football knowledge or real life, right? And I always like to intersect the both, whether we debate sports or real life, kind of bring the two together and really,
Yeah, that's always been my type of show. That's what I want.
Yeah.
Just not sports, just everything. Bring it together, man.
You know why, too? Because I feel as though first and foremost, I'm more than an athlete. I'm successful. I've been retired 11 years now. My last year was 2014. So I've been coaching, but I've always been me, right? So my point is I don't subscribe to the shut up and dribble shit because I'm very intelligent and articulate. And I want people to know that the person you see outside on the gridiron has something more than just his ability to play a sport, right? So we can speak on opposite sex issues. We can speak on politics, socioeconomic issues, spatial movement, the whole gambit. We could talk about everything because here's the thing. I want to be able to be in a safe, open, free space to where we're having conversation. Because see, here's the problem with America and the world in general. We shy away from important conversations that could actually make progress. And that's why we stay stagnant in old ways, because everybody's so scared to speak on these issues. I'm a sociology major, by the way. That's why. So if we speak about these in an open forum and we get different perspectives, we can come to different conclusions, and maybe we might pique interest in other parties that had a one-sided view. You get what I'm saying? So once again, my new term for 2025, two things can be true at the same time.
Absolutely.
Let's do it, y'all. I love it. I appreciate y'all.
Yes, sir. All right, chat. See y'all next week, man.